Radio at 1140 a.m.
Streaming audio at SacktownSports.com and the Sacktown Sports app.
You can also watch the show on YouTube at Sacktown Sports 1140. Here are the Drive Guys with Kevin Gleason and Kyle Drake.
Well. For the last 2 years, I've been mocked. I've been ridiculed. I've been called the Anthony Davis of Sacktown Sports 1140. I've been called street clothes. I've been called part-timer. I've been called everything by my co-host Kevin Whitey Gleason and our producer Jay Johnson. But here we are, Tuesday, June 10th. Who's the only one in studio? Who's the one on time? Who's the one locked in, ready to give you 4 hours of great sports talk radio? Kyle Rashid Draper, my government name. What's happening, everyone? This is the Drive Guy, Sacktown Sports 1140. Drape's holding it down. I got my boy Kyle Ledbetter behind me. I don't know what happened to my co-host, Kevin Whitey Gleason. He was good enough to be on Alan Styles' show with the crossover and everything. He was good enough to chop it up with him. But when I need him most, when I need him to kick off this show in the right mind frame, when I need him to kick off this show at the proper level, he's nowhere to be found. So I'm going to start it off. Let me tell you about my day because I've been having a good day. Had a nice little coffee meeting this morning down at Doco with my guy Scott Perry. We'll talk about that coming up in just a little bit. We'll also talk about the Trey Young report, rumor, whatever you want to call it. Why I'm a huge Trey Young fan, but why I don't think it's a proper fit for the Sacramento Kings. And I know y'all like, Drapes, he's an all-star. He's super talented. He's probably one of your guys. He's about 80% of Drape's guy. But I'm going to tell you the reason why it doesn't make sense for Sacramento at this point. We'll get into that in a little bit. 916-339-1140. And I guess I'll start right there with the Trey Young rumor. A lot going on out there. I know Alan Styles talked ad nauseum about it, and rightfully so. It's probably the big topic in town here today. But here's the thing when it comes to Trey Young. Brilliant basketball player. Can score the ball at will. Can set your team up. Makes others around him better. Check out my boy Okongwu. Made him better out there. Look what he's done with DeAndre Hunter, who I know is no longer there, but when he was there, made him better. Made him a valuable asset. But here's the question about Trey Young, Kings fans, and I want to hear from you, 916-339-1140. Do you want Trey Young here in Sacramento? And what kind of package would you give up for Trey Young here in Sacramento? I don't know what it would cost. You probably have to give up multiple first-round picks. But here's the reason why I'm not so sure Trey Young is the fit for Sacramento. We know he can shoot. We know the offensive skills. But he's a liability defensively. And all I heard on this show from my co-host, Kevin Whitey Gleason, is we need more defense. Well, Trey Young ain't helping you there. Secondly, and I know Trey Young on the court is a brilliant basketball player. But when I look at what the Sacramento Kings need, I feel like we're looking for eventually, ultimately, a face of a franchise. And I'm not just talking about on the court. I'm talking about in the community. I'm talking about throughout the league. I'm talking about somebody that we can say, you know what, this is our guy. And as brilliant as Trey Young is on the floor, he's a 30-point per game scorer when he wants to be, a 12-assist man when he wants to be. Would he be that leader, our guy here in Sacramento? We're going to dive into that over the next 4 hours, but let me check in with my co-host here.
Hey.
Street clothes, Anthony Davis, part-timer, Zion. I'm a caught.
That's
You okay?
Yeah.
And Jay's here too?
I've been here,
Hey,
man. I'm just listening to you talk.
The show start at 2 o'clock.
I was
fellas.
here at 2:02.
The show start at 2 o'clock.
2:03, I looked at you.
Yeah, I was here. I just had to take a quick time out. So,
Dog, you on-time for Alan Styles in the crossover.
I know.
But when I need you most, you're not here.
Yeah.
How y'all doing, man?
Good. Yeah.
You all right?
I like how you
All
started
right.
the show. I was literally
you
like, you know what? I see where you going today.
I will say this because I haven't told you guys this.
Fired up.
But I got to leave at the start of the second
Oh,
block.
here we go.
I got.
Wait, here we go.
So
Come on, Bruce Brown,
Bruce,
Malcolm Brogdon.
because I'm getting my car back.
You got to leave at the start at what?
The second block, they dropping my car off for me.
Oh, okay.
So Mercedes-Benz of Stockton, the fine people down there. I had my car in service the last couple of weeks, so but they're bringing it back.
Man.
Exactly, and so they said they'd be here in about 5 to 10 minutes.
All
so
right,
if I have
all
to
right.
dip out and go switch out cars, that's what I'm doing.
All right. But
All
you're
right.
coming back, right? Or you just,
We'll
just
see.
like,
We'll see, man. I don't know. It's too nice outside. No, I'll be back, though. I'll be back. I just got to exchange keys with the
Sure,
person down
sure.
Got a sunroof in that thing?
Yeah, I do. What you mean, leave it open for them?
No. I was just saying because it's I have never seen the sunroof or seen any shine come through the top of the roof when I've seen you driving.
It'd be too hot out there,
I
man.
got you,
That sun be beating down. You know how it is. The sun out here ain't regular sun.
Right.
It's super boiling
It is.
hot sun out
It
here.
is.
So.
It is. Who is, I apologize if you mentioned this already, Drapes. Who is Grant Afseth?
You know what? I started the show off talking about Trey Young, and I couldn't remember the guy's name that reported this.
Mm-hmm.
I have no idea who this is.
Right.
I've never heard of him, but he was good enough to tweet something. He was good enough to come on Alan's show, and so
Grant Afseth from RG Sports, which is responsible gambling. That's what RG stands for.
nah, hold up.
He wasn't on the Allen Styles show, by the way.
He didn't go
He didn't
up.
make
No,
it.
no.
He didn't make it.
You just
Oh.
adding stuff to it.
No, I thought they were trying to get him.
They were
I
trying to
don't
get
know.
him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
he was covering either he's covering a WNBA game, or if you want to be really cynical, he realized I don't got anything. I'm not going to go on the radio. I don't have anything, but I have no reason to think that.
Where's he from? Because I looked at it and I was like, this is the thing, fellas. We've all been around the game a long time. We know
Right.
a lot of people. We see
Right.
a lot of different
Yes.
periodicals,
Which is why I bring it up.
podcasts.
Yeah.
There's a lot of
Yes.
entities out here these
Yes,
days.
sir.
Where's he from?
Dallas, he says, right?
Okay, so he's from D-Town,
Yeah.
no doubt.
He's been covering the NBA for a long time.
Okay.
I have no reason to doubt that. And he writes this piece that he wrote is for RG Sports, I believe, which is responsible gamblers or responsible.
Oh,
Ah.
the RG Media? Is he part of the?
Yeah.
Well,
yeah.
let me say this. Usually I don't like to call out other media members. I don't like to, these guys work hard at their so-called craft. But this is where I've raised a red flag to this, raise an eyebrow to this.
Yeah.
And I don't know if that's where you guys wanted to go with this or not, but I'm looking at his Twitter page, his X page. Says he has 38,600 followers. But then I look a little deeper, and this is what you got to do, Kings fans. You can't just take everything at face value. But then I look at a tweet he sent 7 hours ago about Tyrese Halliburton. He got 9 likes. Then I dig a little deeper. 7 hours ago, that's not a long time. That's just, that's just a few hours. So then I dig a little deeper. He did and this guy is based in Dallas.
Yep.
Supposedly.
Yep.
He's doing a lot of tweeting about the Dallas Wings. 2 days ago, he tweeted, Paige Beckers is out. 4 likes. Now, this is a guy with 39,000 followers, but 0 engagement, basically.
Yeah.
So, it's a little skeptical
Maybe
with
he
this.
comes on the station tomorrow. That would be great if he does. All I'm saying is, fans, again, filling in that vacuum. There's somebody saying something about the Kings, and whoosh, all of a sudden everyone's talking about the Kings are talking with the Hawks and they're talking with the Cavs, right? Are they? I don't know. I'm not going to assume they are. But everyone else around here is assuming that the Kings are in like these trade talks with the Cavs and the Hawks. Maybe they are. I need to see a little more.
I'm with you on that.
That's all.
I'm with you, and it's no diss to Grant. I mean, he may have his sources, whatever.
Yeah.
But if he's the only one that's reporting this,
There you go. And he cites, let's see, is it league sources again?
Come on.
Nefarious.
Come on. What's this guy, Grant Hegseth? Or what was
Grant
it? Forsyth? What?
Afseth. Yeah. And he quotes multiple league sources. Yeah. He says the Hawks have spoken with the Kings on a potential trade framework centered around Young in recent weeks. However, those talks have since stalled. I'm with you, Drapes. And maybe he's right on the money and ahead of the game and ahead of the curve. I just think we would have heard it somewhere else first.
I agree.
That's all.
And here's the thing. Now, if he got boots on the ground in Atlanta or something like that, okay. But let me rephrase this. I'm very skeptical of somebody. This is the second time somebody in Dallas, wasn't it? Who did we have last week or 2 weeks ago? Somebody in Dallas reported something about Toronto and Domas Sabonis.
Yeah, I know who you're talking about.
You know what I mean?
Right?
And it's like, what's going on out there in Dallas? And so, to me, and I started the show off, Whitey. You missed it. You're busy. To me, Trey Young is a phenomenal player, but I
had to go to the bathroom.
Oh, why you? Gotta go, right? I mean,
that's what happens when you have too many cherries.
Oh my gosh, man. Oh, yeah.
So my apologies.
But Trey Young, a phenomenal player. I've said that. But it doesn't make sense for me right now because of what you'd have to give up. We're talking about defense, Zach LaVine and Trey Young. We know Scott Perry feels like defense you need defense to win basketball games. Right. You heard him say as such about Zach LaVine.
Right.
In a podcast a couple of months ago. And so it doesn't make sense to me. It doesn't. It doesn't pass the smell test to me, this report.
Yeah. We'll talk more about that. We'll talk about other things that are flying around. Evan Siddery just had something interesting. We had Windhorse today saying there is no Giannis trade market.
Ooh.
Why not? We'll find out next. Drive Guys, Sacktown Sports.
This Father's Day at Lowe's, score free gifts for the greatest dad. Right now, get a free Blackstone 8-piece accessory kit when you buy a Blackstone 28-inch griddle. Plus, get 2 free select Craftsman V20 tools when you buy an RP brushless drill and impact driver combo kit. Shop these deals and more this Father's Day at Lowe's. We help, you save. Valid through 6/15 while supplies last. Selection varies by location.
Wesley Financial Group is not a law firm.
Chuck McDowell here again. Over the years, I've seen way too many timeshare exit companies pop up, take folks' money, and disappear. I just saw an ad from an exit company started by a couple of bozos that used to work for me. My advice, don't hire bozos out fire. Want out of your timeshare? I'll send you our free timeshare exit info kit explaining your options for cancellation.
Call Wesley for your free kit. 800-329-3737. That's 800-329-3737.
The Hagen Oaks Cutting Edge Putter Fitting Studio offers you more technology, more choices, and more service. Hagen Oaks wants to be your go-to total golf game fitter. With $30,000 worth of state-of-the-art technology ready for your fitting, Hagen Oaks will help you make your best putting stroke while finding the best putter design, shape, hosel, length, and loft for your game. Schedule your fitting at the Hagen Oaks Player Performance Studio by calling 916-808-2531. That's 808-2531 for more.
The only station in Sacramento giving you local sports coverage from 6 a.m. to 6 p.m. Monday through Friday. Sacktown Sports.
Yeah, here's the other part of the Afseth, and I'm not making fun of his name. I'm trying to be respectful, make sure I get it right. Grant Afseth. Here's the rest of his report. As you probably know, he said today, quote, Sacramento Kings have identified Darius Garland as a trade target as they seek to address the team's vacancy at lead guard this season. Multiple league sources told RG, or responsible gambler. This gets back to the very essence of reporting, Drapes. We're not going to spend a ton of time on nuts and bolts of it, but this is what happens when people are just allowed to go, league sources, some source. Well, I don't know who it is, so I'm not going to put much stock in that report.
Right. It's
what's a league source?
And here's the thing. I agree. What's a league source? Is it some trainer? Is it some ball boy in an organization? Is it
some of your buddies,
Yeah.
like what's a league source out there? And here's the thing too. Based on what I can tell, this guy, talking about Grant, hasn't been plugged into anything Atlanta or anything Sacramento. But all of a sudden,
That's important.
he's got this.
Right.
And
Right.
so, yeah, it's I was a little skeptical as well, Whitey, when I saw that.
Yeah. Like everything, you keep an eye on it because on some levels it makes sense, but let's not jump to any conclusions. At least, I understand that when reporters have sources, you can't reveal your sources because otherwise they're not your source
Right,
anymore.
right.
But at least give me a source close to the situation.
Yeah,
or
yeah, right. Yeah.
A league source is what is a league source? So anyway, I'm not going to get too excited about that. It's sad to me, Drapes. Maybe it really doesn't matter that much, but it's sad to me to see how somebody writes something like that and then it gets aggregated. And pretty soon, this is the thing. You've got fans
Right.
sitting there going, oh man, they're deep into talks with the Cavs. They must be because it's everywhere.
Right.
I'm not so sure they are. That's all.
But and here's the thing too, from the fans' perspective, but how about the players' perspective?
That's a great point
And
too.
families' perspective.
right.
Yeah. I don't know if Trey Young has family or anything, any kids or anything in school down there in Atlanta. Maybe they're out right now, but little Johnny in Atlanta, hey, is your dad going to Sacramento? And it's like, and Grant, if he's right, good for him. Good
Yeah.
for I gotta get ready to run.
Oh,
Because
I
the
thought that
call
was
is
your
coming.
league source.
No, the bat phone is ringing here. Go ahead, Whitey. Take over.
All
over.
right.
And I'm about to run downstairs.
All right.
I'll
We'll
be
see
right
you
back.
when you
I'll
come
be right
back. Hopefully.
All right. You got that.
This guy,
The Mercedes man.
yeah, got to take care of his car. Jay, here is the thing on Giannis. Today on Get Up, Brian Windhorst said there is, quote, no trade market, end quote. That's no trade market for Giannis because he has not asked to be moved, and the Bucks are not looking to move him. Okay, if Giannis doesn't want to go anywhere, they're probably not going to trade him on their own. I know he recently did an interview. I think it was with a Brazilian outlet.
Yeah, it was something
Yeah.
like that. Yeah.
Okay, you saw that too, where he said, I love what's going on now, and I want to win another championship with the Bucks. That's neither here nor there, but it would suggest that he's not in a hurry to leave. Now that can change because Giannis could ask to be moved tomorrow. But as of right now, we've talked a lot about how this could be the craziest, busiest offseason in NBA history. One of the big parts of that, of course, was a potential Giannis trade. As of right now, Jay, he's not asking out. So as of right now, he's not going anywhere. It could change, but that's where we are right now.
Yeah. It was the publication was Coast to Coast Brazil.
Thank you.
Yeah, in a recent interview about a month and a half ago or so, and they just going ahead and publish it now. Yeah, but I'm with you. Right now, it's dead time in the NBA minus the finals. And one thing I know, Whitey, and you definitely know this, is the NBA is not going to be having any huge moves, any huge deals happen while the NBA finals are going on.
Right.
And more times than not is general managers and assistant general managers and front offices of teams, they're having conversations, no doubt about it. We had the conversation yesterday. I'd be talking to everybody right now. But we definitely know, hence the draft is coming up here in a couple of weeks. We know Summer League is turning around, and that's where you start to see a lot of action move and happen. No doubt there's going to be some moves that happen before that because you have, deadlines on certain people's contracts and limitations that you need to handle. But right now, for someone to say Trey Young and Darius Garland are having big conversations or their names are being tossed around, I just don't believe it. I don't believe it at all.
Mm-hmm.
I take it how you want to. I always talk about fan how you fan how you want to fan. But for me, I'm not believing that.
Yeah. And I'm with you, Jay, if you allow me room on your bandwagon. As we said yesterday,
We're together.
Every time we've been talking for the last few weeks, if not months, about the Kings doing this or that, I've been very discerning, like, I don't know about that guy. Him, maybe. And now I'm just like, yes, do everything. I just want to talk about everything.
Mm-hmm.
Can't do everything. Wouldn't want to do everything. But anybody, how about this guy? Yes, let's talk.
Let's just have conversations.
Yes.
Yeah.
Let's kick some tires because they need a little bit of everything, right?
They do. And who better to have a conversation than Scott Perry, somebody who's been around in the league and has respected relationships. I would hope that he's on the phone talking to everybody and asking about everyone. As I said yesterday, let's just price it out. Quote me a price.
Mm-hmm.
What's the quote? and then let me go and
right.
get 3 or 4 or 5 different estimations. That's where I'm at.
You know what else is certainly possible, if not likely, Jay, that these stories keep popping up. The Kings have talked to this guy, targeted that guy. And if they're looking at it the way you're looking at it, the Kings probably have talked to just about everybody.
I hope so.
Yeah. So we tend to think, they've talked to the Hawks about Trey Young. They must be targeting him. They could be, in essence, talking to everybody about everybody who is remotely available.
Yeah, anyone that's closer, name has been whispered out there to be available.
Yeah,
it may be.
That would be smart.
You're right. I've talked to the Cavs. I've talked to the Hawks. I've talked to the Knicks. I've talked to the Suns. I've talked to, Dallas about some of these players. I've talked to Portland. I've talked to Utah. Absolutely, you should be talking. If anything, someone should reporting. The Kings have hollered at everybody.
Yeah.
They've contacted any and everybody. Matter of fact, they've reached out overseas. They've talked to people in Puerto Rico.
Yeah.
I was going to say about DeMarcus Cousins, but that would start a whole nother issue.
We'll get to that eventually.
Yeah. But
they've used AI. They've created players out of thin air. They've talked to their agents.
They
Everybody.
should. Absolutely. So there should be a lot of conversations. There should be a lot of reports about, the Sacramento Kings reaching out and having conversations.
Mm-hmm.
I'm hoping.
Now, do you want to hear another one of these? I don't know. Is it a rumor? Is it a report from Sittery?
Here we go.
Or do you not want to hear it?
Sure, I'll take it.
Okay. This was last hour. Evan Sittery. I'm really, parsing every word here. He says the Magic are open to packaging Jonathan Isaac and or Cole Anthony with their 2 first-round draft picks to acquire a rotational upgrade. And then he cites Kevin O'Connor, NBA, in his podcast. So he says that's what O'Connor said on his podcast. Orlando ready to officially go into win now mode in the Eastern Conference. Now, is that true? We're not sure. O'Connor said it. Supposedly he didn't just make it up. But that's intriguing to me. If I could get a guy who's going to help me now, and I'll just roll with it. Is it true? I don't know. I'll just roll with it.
Okay.
If I could get a guy who's going to help me now, Jonathan Isaac addresses my need for length, Cole Anthony, point guard, and I could get 2 first-round picks, then I'm very interested in talking with them. Obviously, they're going to want something serious back, but I'd be interested in talking to them.
Yeah, a rotational piece upgrade. I saw Kevin O'Connor, speak on the Orlando Magic situation. That would mean, that would mean the ilk of a top tier, top end, like a Michael Porter Jr. What's a rotational piece upgrade mean?
That means a guy that's going to play a lot who's better than the guys you're playing a lot. So,
right.
It could be DeMar, could be, you got a lot of guys that would fit that. Monk might even fit that.
Which we knew allegedly they were in the conversation with Monk,
a
couple last season.
I can't imagine them giving all that up just for Malik Monk, but Keegan could be part of that. Just in theory, just spitballing. Sabonis, maybe. Those are the guys that Kings have that might fit that description. Whether Orlando would be interested or not, I don't know.
Yeah, I haven't looked at Orlando's draft capital, but I will say this. If you're sending me over 2 first-round draft picks, I'm interested.
Yes.
I'm not so much as tied to Jonathan Isaac. I think he doesn't fit my bill, but I understand why people would like him. I understand. He's got to be a lot more healthier for me.
Mm-hmm.
And I believe he just has never taken the next step, and I just don't see it happening for him. Now, he could prove me wrong. As I always say, please, Jonathan Isaac, prove me wrong. But for my money, he's not the type of player that I'm looking to, make a move for.
Yeah.
Cole Anthony is a bridge.
Right.
I think he's specifically a bridge type of guy. So I'd be interested in that, but I'm really interested in the draft capital.
Yes,
no doubt about it.
Yeah. Drapes, here's what we were talking about. Maybe you saw this. Evan Sittery, he said, and he quoted your guy, Kevin O'Connor.
It's really a Kevin O'Connor thing.
Right.
You just saw it aggregated from Evan Sittery.
He says he got it from O'Connor. And he says the Magic open to packaging Jonathan Isaac and or Cole Anthony with their 2 first-round draft picks to acquire a rotational upgrade. I don't know what they're looking for, but if I'm Sacramento, I like the sound of that. 2 draft picks, and I could get a player to help me now. That, to me, is exactly the type of move I want to make if I can.
So can you, real quick, repeat it?
Yeah.
Cole Anthony, Isaac, and 2 draft picks?
Cole Anthony and or Jonathan Isaac with their 2 first-round picks to acquire a rotational upgrade. and that's Kevin O'Connor said. And you heard him say that on the pod?
Well, I've seen people credit Kevin O'Connor.
Kevin
You
O'Connor
just saw it through Evan Sitter.
Yeah.
He's not the only one that's credited Kevin O'Connor say that. So it's a Kevin O'Connor report.
Aggregating O'Connor.
O'Connor.
Yeah.
I'm a huge Cole Anthony fan. You need that dog. He's kind of a dog. He's a competitor. You got him under control for 2 years at short money. I'm looking at the contract right now, $13 million this upcoming season, 13.1 with a team option the following season. And so, you know, and Orlando has been one of the teams rumored to be interested in DeMar as well. And so you're talking about a rotational upgrade.
Right.
That might be a player they could be targeting.
What is that, Drapes, to you? And I asked Whitey what that is, but to you, what's a rotational piece upgrade?
Somebody in their rotation they can count on night in and night out.
Okay.
Now, you know, it's not like Spades, Jay, 2 in a possible.
Right.
No, I need a full 3.
Okay.
You know, I'm not 2 in a possible. And I think, you know, we got some guys that fit that.
Now their picks are 16 and 25.
Yeah, I'm interested.
16 and 25. Not
You
great,
think
but
they give up? Are they saying draft capital right now or future draft? Like,
I read it as their 2 first-round picks, so that I assume that means these 2.
So
with their 2 first-round picks, so that I assume would be 16 and 25.
Okay.
To me, that rotational piece upgrade that's almost saying you're looking for a 2 or a 3 type of guy. Like you're not looking for someone superstar or even their young guy. You know, they're young, up and coming, could be superstar, next to be all-star, but I'm looking for a DeMar DeRozan. I'm looking for, you know, someone of that ilk. Yes, I think that's a rotational piece upgrade for me.
Raphael Barlow's going to join us. He's the host of the NBA Big Board podcast. He'll help us take a pick at some of the potential Kings prospects. That's next with the Drive Guys on Sacktown Sports.
Visit SacktownSports.com and join the Sacktown Sports 1140 newsletter.
Febreze. As a rideshare driver, I love keeping my car smelling fresh and clean. So when I'm driving, I only trust Febreze car vent clips, featuring 3 distinct intensity settings, because it's that little touch that sets me apart. I can turn the intensity down for subtle freshness, or I can turn it up for when I want lots of scent. So whether it's set to low, medium, or high, with Febreze car, I know my car's going to smell amazing. Which keeps my driver rating right where it belongs. Picking up, Oscar!
Wesley Financial Group is not a law firm.
Do you find yourself stuck in a timeshare? Get the real facts about the timeshare industry and your options for cancellation. Chuck McDowell, founder of Wesley Financial Group, has put together a free information guide that reveals the secrets the timeshare industry doesn't want you to know, including the 5 ways to get rid of your timeshare. Call now and get this timeshare cancellation guide absolutely free.
Call 800-646-5959. That's 800-646-5959. 800-646-5959.
The hot weather is coming. Is your HVAC system ready for it? Let Lee's Air Plumbing and Heating make sure it is. Get to Lee'sAirPlumbingandHeating.com. Check out their $99 HVAC tune-up special. And let me tell you why Lee's Air Plumbing and Heating is the way to go. They took care of me when our heater collapsed over the winter, and Lee's set us up with a great new HVAC system that is providing comfort, value, and quality. Let Lee's Air Plumbing and Heating take care of you. License number 635355.
Get ready for a night out with Jordan Davis. It's Country in the Park 2, Saturday, September 13th at Cal Expo. Along with the special guests Mitchell Tenpenny, Low Cash, Vincent Mason, and Abriana. Make it a family day out with food trucks, games, dancing, and more. Saturday, September 13th at Cal Expo with Michelob Ultra. Tickets are available now at CITPFest.com.
Capital Casino, conveniently located on 411th North 16th Street in downtown Sacramento.
Hey everyone, it's Kyle Draper here. If you're in the market for a new car, let me tell you about my experience with Mercedes-Benz of Stockton. From the moment I walked into their state-of-the-art showroom, I knew I was making the right choice. There was no pressure from the sales staff, and if I'm being honest, I felt like a kid in a candy store. I settled on the all-electric EQS SUV, and let me tell you why. First of all, the comfort. After a long day at work, I actually look forward to being in my car. It has several different massage settings, including my favorite, hot relaxing back. Plus, the seat heating and cooling features are perfect for the hot summer or those chilly mornings. Mercedes-Benz has the reputation of making the finest cars in the world. Now it's your turn to experience what I already know. Mercedes-Benz of Stockton is the best car buying experience you'll ever have. They're just a short drive down I-5, or you can shop online anytime
at mbofstockton.com. That's mbofstockton.com, and tell them Drape sent you.
Live and local, it's the Drive Guys. Watch the show on youtube.com/Sacktown Sports 1140.
Or listen on the Sacktown Sports app.
You know, Drapes, the Kings, you may have been part of this yesterday. They worked out a few players. And even though the Kings have, pick 42, there's a guy or two they worked out yesterday that some fans are getting excited about.
Really?
A little bit.
Who are they getting excited about?
Well, we'll find out here. We'll share that. We'll get the latest on them from Rafael Barlow, Director of Scouting and owner, NBA Big Board, host and producer of the Locked On NBA Big Board podcast. How are you today, Rafael?
I'm doing great, man. How are you?
We're doing good. Let me see what you think of a couple of guys that worked out for the Kings yesterday. Some fans are excited, first of all, about from Duke, 6'5" point guard Tyrese Proctor. How excited should fans be about him potentially falling to the Kings at 42?
Yeah, honestly, 2 years ago, I thought that Tyrese Proctor was going to be a lottery pick. I thought he showed a lot of flashes at his freshman year at Duke.
Yeah.
And then they kind of moved him off the ball some, but he's a connector. He has good size. He can shoot. He can pass. He may have a little bit more game that he can show. So there's a reason to be excited there, especially for Sacramento, where there's some opportunities to play a lot in the guard spot.
Yeah, so there's a possibility he won't last till 42, right?
I think he should be there. I mean, it's going to be a crapshoot. This draft is all over the place, and there's a lot of seniors, and he's not a senior, but yeah, man, I think there's a reason to be excited.
Okay.
Like I said, if you look at some of the tape from his freshman year when he played with Derek Lively, and at the end of the season, he was a big part of their turnaround. He showed some creation off the dribble, but then they moved him off the ball, and he just pretty much turned into like a connector and a passer.
Hey, Rafael, when you look at, this draft and, point guard a clear need for Sacramento, I've maintained that a possibility could be moving up. We'll get to that in a minute. But at 42, is there, I know we talked about Proctor, is there anybody that could come in and actually play more than spot duty? You think anybody you targeting, midway through that second round?
From the point guard spot, there's a guy that I like. He's a little undersized, and I kind of struggle with where to rank him because I don't have him as a first-round pick, but I think he's going to be a 7 or 8 year pro plus. And usually, if a guy is going to play 7 or 8 years, then that's worthy of a first-round pick. And that is Ryan Nembhard from Gonzaga.
Oh, yeah.
Very smart, led the nation in assists. He got invited to the G League Elite Camp a few weeks ago in Chicago, and then he was invited to the NBA Combine. But I want to say there were like 5 guys from the G League Elite Camp that got invited to the NBA Combine, and 2 of them were his teammates. So he made them look better and got them invited to the NBA Combine. And then when I saw him at the NBA Combine, the guy that everyone talked about, who's, I guess, kind of close to your area, and Maxime Reynaud, who everyone said had a big combine, was one of the biggest winners of the combine. Whose team was he on? He was on Ryan Nembhard's team. So I think Ryan Nembhard is going to be, maybe your second or your third point guard, but I think he has what it takes to stick for a long time.
Now, one potential drawback for him is his size, correct?
Yep. Yeah, the NBA is definitely a league where it's kind of brutal on small point guards. We've seen some small point guards get drafted in the late first round and second round and then be out of the league before their rookie contract ended. But I think the difference between Nembhard and some of the other smaller point guards is they want to score. Nembhard wants to run the offense. He wants to get guys involved. And I think players like playing with guys like that.
Is he a Tyus Jones type? Like, what's a comparison?
Yeah, Tyus Jones type, Corey Joseph type, guys that just stick around. They can run the offense. They take care of the ball. Great teammate. And it's kind of like an extension of a coach on the floor, which is what you want under your second or third point guard.
Talking with Rafael Barlow. He's the director of scouting and owner, NBA Big Board, and he's the host producer of the Locked on NBA Big Board podcast. Another name that I know fans are throwing around here a little bit, Hanson Yang, 7'1" center from China. What can you tell us about him?
I love him, man. Me and my brother, we call ourselves the Yang Gang.
Okay.
I'm a big fan of Hanson Yang. The first time I saw him play was at a U18 tournament, and he was going up against Alex Sarr, who was the number 2 pick of last year's draft, and he just outplayed him. I mean, Sarr, he didn't want anything with Hanson Yang, and Yang is a big physical guy. He's 7'1", like 250. He's skilled, and I'm not big at throwing out comparisons. I know people are going to think I'm crazy, and I'm not saying he's these players, but he has some Kevin McHale in him as far as just creativity and instincts in the block, whether it's up and unders, touch, skill. Very skilled around the block. A very good passer. I mean, there's some people that think passing is his best feature.
Yeah, Rafi, I saw one comp of him that was Bogut.
I haven't seen Bogut. That's interesting, but he is that type of really good passer, like your Şengün. Not necessarily Jokic in the fact that he's going to be a point center, but I think he's your hub to where you give him the ball, he's going to find cutters. But he's a very clever passer. He led the CBA in blocks. But some people think like, well, that absolutely means nothing. but to me, it's a little something. But I really like Hanson Yang, and just to be honest, I know this is a Kings-based podcast, but I'm like, if I'm the Brooklyn Nets and I have 4 first-round picks, I'm not letting him. Leave the first round.
Okay, worthy of a first rounder. Okay, let me ask you this then, Rafael, because I started off the conversation talking about a potential move up for Sacramento. Personally, I think that's on the board. You know, if I'm them, I might try to get up later into that first round. Is there anybody, let's say 19 through 25, 26, 27, that point guard that's worthy of a team jumping up and trying to get him?
You know, that's a tough question. I have heard that the Kings are one of the teams that are going to be aggressively looking to move up. I think Michigan State's Jace Richardson could be in that range.
I like that name. Yep.
He's on the smaller side, measured out at 6 foot. At Michigan State, he didn't really play the point, so I think there's some risk there because he is on the smaller side, even though I just talked about Ryan Nembhard. But with Richardson, he was very, very efficient. But sometimes he played the 1, sometimes he played the 2, sometimes he played the 3. You didn't really get a chance to see him as a full-time distributor. So I think that could be a little risky. And I struggle with, did Michigan State put him in the best position to succeed, or did they actually hold him back? So if Sacramento thinks that he could be a point guard and he had more to his game than what he was able to show at Michigan State, then he could be in that range. I've heard some people think that Diego Dimon could fall outside of the lottery. 6'9" point guard from BYU. I think he's the best passer in the draft. Maybe needs to be a little bit more aggressive. I think if you look at some of the best passers in the NBA today, they really unlock their playmaking when they're aggressive and looking to score. So I think if Diego was a little bit aggressive, that could really open things up for him. Some like Walter Clayton. I don't know if he's a starting point guard, but he's a winner. He just won a championship at Florida. He's a shot maker. So there's some options there.
That's Rafael Barlow. He's the host of the Locked on NBA Big Board podcast, and he just shared with us that he's hearing the Kings are one of the teams that are aggressively looking to move up. I have one more international player to ask you about. This is another guy we've seen here. They're potentially linked to the Kings. Another Bogi, Bogoljub Markovic. What can you tell us about him?
So I kind of made a name for myself in this space by knowing the international guys.
Okay,
and so I've actually seen him in person in a tournament back in Serbia. I want to say it was 2022. And I liked him. I took notes on him. And again, he was like 16 at the time. And the first thing that stood out to me was I labeled him as skinny tough. He was real thin at the time, but he wasn't afraid to throw his body around. He didn't have that one skill set that stood out, but he was just good at everything. He blocked shots. He ran the floor. He made good passes.
He's got some size, right? He's got some legitimate size.
Yeah, he's got some size now. Yeah, he's 6'11". I talked to him briefly through social media, and he's definitely gotten stronger. But he's a connector. He's a guy that is able to, best case scenario, play multiple roles, and he just knows how to play the right way, and he just brings a lot to the table.
Raphael, last one for me. When I'm looking at the mock drafts, I see a lot of, how should I put this? Players with U.S. experience at college here. Last year, we had a lot of international guys at the top. How much impact do you think the international guys will have on this year's draft?
Well, honestly, a lot of the top international guys played college basketball this year, and I think that's going to be a wave that we're going to see a lot of, just because the money that they can make in NIL is a lot more than what they'll make playing in Europe, and even some of the European clubs are making money off the buyouts when their young players go to the college route. But I think as far as the international players in this class, it's really a crapshoot in a sense, because you have Nolan Traore, who many people thought was a top 5 pick coming into this year. He struggled a little bit out the gate playing over in France, and it kind of made people fall off of him. But I still kept all my stock in him, because I think that if the roles are reversed, and if we took one of our American point guards and we put them in France in a pro league, I think they'd have an adjustment period too of struggling. So I think the same stuff that he showed, what made everybody high on him at this time last year, I think is still there. He just got off to a rough start. He's over in France. There's Hugo Gonzalez, who's playing in Spain and Real Madrid. I think he's one of the biggest wild cards in this draft, because out of the 2006 born generation in Europe, he was the guy. He was always like the top player. And then he just goes to a situation where he's playing behind a lot of former NBA players and Spanish league stars. So he hasn't had the opportunity to really, put together some good film this year. His team is currently still playing, so teams can't even bring him there for a workout. But I think he could be a wild card. There's quite a few guys. Ben Saraf, who's playing in Germany. He's Israeli, but he's one of the few international guys that's actually playing a significant role on a team as a young guy. And so he's like a big point guard. Best case scenario is a big point guard, but I think he's like a combo guard. But he led the FIBA U8 teams in scoring at 28 points a game, and he's having a good year this year. But he could be in that late first round range. But I'll say there's probably maybe 4 international guys that I think could be first round picks.
Okay.
We appreciate it, Raphael. We're just kind of wandering in the darkness with so many of these players as we get ready for the draft, and you come in with, you got your helmet on with the light on it, and you're shining it on these players, telling us about it. We appreciate it very much. We hope to talk to you again soon. And we hope to be talking to you soon about the Kings moving up, but fingers crossed on that.
Yeah, let me know. We can make it happen anytime.
All right. Thank you, Raphael. Appreciate it. From the NBA Big Board, Raphael Barlow. Kings moving up, Drake.
I told you, Whitey. Come on, man. It makes sense, big fella. It makes sense.
Yeah. More on that when we come back to Sacktown Sports. Yes.
Alan Stiles here with your Sacktown Sports Injury Update, brought to you by Downtown LA Law Group. Shea Langoliers exited a game last week after experiencing discomfort following a swing. The A's will have more information as to the severity of the injury after he undergoes further testing. Miguel Andujar, out with that right oblique strain, suffered it during a swing as well. He will be out a couple weeks, if not longer, per the A's Director of Sports Medicine and Rehabilitation, Brian Shulman. That was your Sacktown Sports Injury Update, brought to you by Downtown LA Law Group. Hey, I'm Alan Stiles. Have an injury? Call Downtown. Downtown LA Law Group, an injury law firm, has many happy clients in Sacramento and the surrounding areas who have called Downtown. Get paid for your injuries from slip and falls or auto accidents. One of their most recent settlements was $1.5 million for a motorcycle accident. Have you had an auto accident? Call Downtown. Text injury help to 40222. That's injury help to 40222 and visit them at calldowntown.com.
This is the story of the one. As a lineman, he does whatever it takes to keep the power on in his community. And he wants a partner like Grainger who does the same. Grainger offers the professional-grade products he needs, from voltage detectors to harnesses to hard hats, plus fast, dependable delivery, so he can rise to every challenge. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
What was that? That is business phone bliss with the Ooma Cloud phone system. It handles all our voice, video, and messaging needs.
You sound very
calm. I am. Ooma has everything I need to run my business more efficiently, like virtual receptionist, call routing, and video conferencing. And it starts at just $19.95 per month per user, plus taxes and fees.
Ooma.
Nice. Find your business calm at ooma.com/radio.
Skeeter here. Got a question. What's small and dark with white bands on its legs and bites during the day?
Mosquitoes. Hi, I'm Luz Maria Robles, but these are two new types of day-biting mosquitoes. They're invading our area and becoming a big problem.
And they can be dangerous.
But we're on it, so when you see them, report it at fightthebite.net. In the meantime, use insect repellent and drain stagnant water around your yard.
We're here to help with these day-biting mosquitoes.
Visit us at fightthebite.net.
I'm Ken Korak with your Green and Gold Report, brought to you by Comcast Business, powering possibilities. Well, looking for something positive in the midst of a dismal stretch for the A's, center fielder Denzel Clarke, finishing his second weekend in the big leagues and playing in his hometown of Toronto, went 4 for 9 with a home run in the last 3 games of the series, and also made a sensational Spider-Man leaping catch over the wall in center field, robbing Alejandro Kirk of a home run. Comcast Business helps turn today's small businesses into engines of modern business. It's how restaurants become reliably up and running neighborhood favorites. It's how retailers become seamlessly restocking, cyber-securing must-visit shops. And it's how healthcare offices become data-managing caregivers that we all depend on. With reliable connectivity, enhanced cybersecurity, advanced fiber solutions, and Wi-Fi backup, Comcast Business is powering the engine of modern business.
Sacramento Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram has the biggest selection, the best prices, and unbeatable customer service. Check them out online, sacsuperstore.com, for the guaranteed lowest price on Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, and Ram. Open until 10 o'clock and right across from Hagen Oaks Golf Course. sacsuperstore.com.
Pro Paint Days are back at Lowe's, and My Lowe's Pro Rewards members can save even more with limited time deals. Right now, buy one, get one half off select HGTV Home by Sherwin-Williams Primer and Ceiling Paint. Plus, get free same-day delivery to your job site when you order by 2 p.m. Offer valid through 6/13, delivery by 8 p.m., subject to driver availability. Additional terms apply. See Lowe's.com/same-day delivery for details.
Ugh, I gotta get business cards printed for my entire staff, but where do I even?
That was easy.
Oh, okay, Staples. But can I have bigger stuff printed too, like huge signs and banners?
That was easy.
Nice. And what if I had to ship a package?
That was easy.
Have my passport photo taken?
That was easy.
Coffee and snacks?
That was easy.
What about the latest laptops?
That was
Earbuds
easy.
and headphones?
That was
Office
easy.
chairs?
That was easy.
I think I also need to get some Staples.
Seriously?
I had to ask.
For everything your business needs to get the job done.
Staples. That was easy.
Live and local, 6 a.m. to 6 p.m., Monday through Friday. Sacktown Sports.
I walk alone. So drive, guys. I got to tell you before we get back to the Kings, this probably shouldn't bother me, but it bothers me just a tiny bit. Probably won't bother you, Drapes. Might bother Jay, but I'm guessing not. Matt Mayoko today, the 49ers open minicamp. Matt Mayoko says, Jake Moody today with his new shortened approach made all kicks from 27, 32, 37, 47, 52, and 55 yards. However, Jennifer Lee Chan says, today, PAT good, 34 yards good, 36 yards no good.
See?
She has a missing one. Mayoko says he made everything.
And they're colleagues.
Yeah.
Same outlet.
Whoa.
Now, what bothers you? That they got differing takes on what happened, or
it bothers me that he might have missed one. Because I'm worried about Jake.
You know what bothers me, Whitey.
Money Moody.
You know what bothers me.
What's that?
You know what really grinds my gears about
What's
this.
that?
Who the hell cares how Jake Moody is kicking on June 10th?
It's his new approach, Drapes.
Nobody cares. But if he made it or missed, it doesn't matter. I need to know, are you going to be ready during games? He could go 1,000 for 1,000 in the summer.
Yeah,
but if I don't see him in the fall doing it, it don't matter.
But he didn't. He missed one from 36 today.
You know what?
Minicamp.
Right, I'm going to remember that, though. I'm going to remember that. Next time I have a good range session on the golf course, Whitey, I changed my swing. Every shot on the golf course, on the range, it looked great.
You had a better year last year than he
That's
did.
true. That is true.
Yeah, he got hurt, and all of a sudden, Drapes, he had Debo in his grill.
He did. That's true. Hey, let me ask you this, though. Did she say, Jennifer Lee say he missed the same distance and Matt Mayoka said he made it? Like, or are they differing distances
1, 2, 3,
in their
4, 5,
takes?
6, 7. Yeah, she says PAT 34-36. So she says he missed. That's a great question.
Which one did he miss?
She says he missed the 36-yarder.
Does
Mayoko says he has a 37-yarder in there, but he doesn't have anything about a 36.
But he made the 37-yarder according to Mayoko.
Yeah.
This is ridiculous.
We got to text.
We need some games, man. We need some games. This is ridiculous.
Definitely ridiculous, Drake.
You know that we need Money Moody to be Money Moody this year, Jay. You're right.
I agree, but man,
you
it's
got to make your kicks in.
just past Memorial Day. We're good. We're fine. We're
Camp
fine.
is next month. Legitimate.
Right,
camp
that's
is
what I'm
next
saying.
Month.
Now, if he's struggling in preseason games or he's looking good, okay, that's one thing. But June 10th?
He's already struggling, Drapes. He's a disaster area. He missed a 36-yarder.
Come on, man. Don't do it like that. Don't do Jake like that. He was 7 of 8 or whatever it was today. So
by the way, mini camps start today for most teams. Most teams do 3 days. Your team is doing 1 day, which tells you how important it is. They're doing 1 day, and they're like, all right, we'll see you guys next month.
Right, when you're champions, it's like going to the NBA Finals. You play into June.
I guess
you play into late February.
Yeah.
No need to rush the guys
come
back.
in, have some s'mores.
Right,
Look at some Disney films. All right,
exactly.
We'll see you
Share the carpet together.
We'll see you in July.
Crisscross applesauce.
Right. 1 day. Okay.
Why even show up for that? 1 day. If I'm not in the area, I'm not coming to that.
You're not coming for 1 day?
Nah.
It's mandatory.
OTAs. We don't need much work.
I
got
think
the same
49ers,
crew.
49ers, I think, are only doing 2.
Really?
Yeah. Unless if Moody misses another one tomorrow,
right,
he's got to stay the whole
He's
week.
probably running laps right now, right?
Yes. Now, what did you think of Rafael Barlow? I got excited there, Drapes. I know we've talked about it, but it's the first I've heard someone in the media other than us saying the Kings are aggressively looking to trade up. That's very exciting to me.
That is exciting. And, and this is why it makes sense, Whitey. Let's say you get hired at a new job. You want to come in and play with some toys. You don't want to watch everybody else having fun, first-round picks. You want to make your mark and get rolling, get the job started. No offense to second-round picks because we see some very successful second-round picks. But it's like, it's almost like double dutch, and Scott Perry's on the outside looking. He's ready to jump into the rope there.
Mm-hmm.
And his best way, I think, doing that through the draft is try to move up. The 42nd pick, hopefully he gets right. Hopefully he don't make a difference, but the odds are no. If you can move up and get your point guard, get your center, whatever it is, you got to be aggressive. I didn't think Scott Perry came here to just, let me just be status quo. Whatever we have, that's all we're going to have in terms of assets and picks. I wouldn't be shocked if he was looking to jump up.
Now, I know I'm getting way ahead of myself because we don't know any of this for
we don't
sure.
know. We don't
But
know.
let's just say they are looking to aggressively to move up. And let's say there's something to that Orlando deal. You would end up with the Magic picks 16 and 25. Is that really worth doing anything over? According to this mock, that would be 16, Cedric Coward, Washington State, 6'6" forward, and then 25 is the guy that Raphael mentioned.
Walter Clayton they got? Or
Ben Saraf.
Oh, they got Ben Saraf.
Yeah.
Walter Clayton on this one.
Okay.
Yeah,
Well,
I think so. I mean, we've talked
I'm with
about
you.
getting younger.
I'm with you.
And first round picks, especially that 16. That's almost a lottery pick, basically. I mean, we've seen this past draft last year. Some good players come outside the lottery, right outside the lottery. So yeah, it's 100% something I would entertain. I do question the validity of that package though, because it seemed, and maybe, let me ask you this about Orlando and Sacramento.
It's a lot, huh?
I feel like it's a lot they
too.
would be giving up. Are they that desperate? Like, who's the more desperate team to do that deal, would you say? That's a great good question.
Yeah. The theory is that Orlando feels like we're close. We need to upgrade now.
Yeah.
and jumpstart this thing.
Right.
Because our youth movement kind of last year leveled out. So we need to get somebody who's going to, boom, put us over the top.
So
I don't know if the Kings would have that guy, frankly.
Was that report, the Kevin O'Connor report that Sittery, reposted, he said Cole Anthony and 2 first-round picks?
Cole Anthony or Jonathan Isaac and 2 first-round picks.
That seems like a lot.
I'm with you.
That's a lot.
I agree. That's why when I saw it, I was like, yes, let's do
all
that.
right, sign us up. Yeah, that seems a little far-fetched to me, but, here we are on Sports Talk Radio. We got to talk about something, and so I would do that deal in a heartbeat.
Yeah. And again, the way it's phrased, and I know Jay is feverishly looking to track down what Kevin O'Connor actually said. The way Sittery shared it was the Magic are open to packaging Isaac or Cole Anthony and their 2 first-round picks. So maybe they're open to it depending on what they're getting back. If the Kings came calling with like DeMar or something, maybe they say, well, we're not open to giving you all that, but let's talk.
Right. I do believe that the Kings are active in discussions, doing their due diligence. I don't think there's any kind of, mandate to get something done or, pressure to get something done. But when you're new on the job, you calling everybody. You trying to, unless, it's like, all right, let's just wait this out, see how this year goes. Let me evaluate. But I think, and this is just me talking, if I'm running things, if a deal is there to be made that I think will improve this team, ain't no waiting. You got to do it.
We'll come back with a look at the Tyrese Halliburton superstar question and everything else that may or may not be going on with the Kings. That's next. Drive, guys. Stick around. Sacktown Sports.
The Sacktown Sports 1140 newsletter. Right to your email. Get your latest on the Sacramento Kings, UC Davis, and Sac State with the Sacktown Sports 1140 newsletter. Visit sacktownsports.com to join.
This is the story of the one. As a safety manager at a manufacturing plant, he does everything he can to keep his coworkers safe. From finding ways to reduce risks to keeping safety supplies in stock. And for that, he relies on Grainger. Grainger offers a broad range of quality products and next-day delivery, so he can always play it safe. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
At SMUD, we power local business with incentives on clean energy equipment, tools to manage electricity usage and save money, tailored solutions from dedicated strategic account advisors, and 50% lower rates than neighboring utilities, all while doing more for the planet with clean energy solutions, savings, reliability, personalized service, clean energy, helping local businesses thrive. That's our clean power promise. Learn more at smud.org.
This is the story of the one. As a lineman, he does whatever it takes to keep the power on in his community. And he wants a partner like Grainger who does the same. Grainger offers the professional-grade products he needs, from voltage detectors to harnesses to hard hats, plus fast, dependable delivery, so he can rise to every challenge. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
KHD1 Sacramento, KYMX HD3 Sacramento. From the Power Business Technology Toshiba Studios.
Sacktown Sports 1140. Live and local, it's the Drive Guys. Watch the show on youtube.com/Sacktown Sports 1140.
Or listen on the Sacktown Sports app.
We just have to take a moment to acknowledge what happened in the A's game last night. I know I've been very critical of everything going on out there.
Yeah.
You just look at the baseball last night, and Denzel Clarke, again, he's been here 16 games. He's made 3 absolutely iconic, incredible catches. He had 2 in the last, 5 days?
3, 4, or 5 days,
Yeah, one was Friday night, and they keep getting better somehow. And the one he made last night, I've never seen a catch quite like that. It looked like that was impossible.
Dude, it was like Spider-Man, man. He literally climbed the wall, went over the wall,
and
brought it back in.
He went into the bleachers, bought some popcorn, came back. But you remember a few weeks ago in one of his first games, he went up over the wall in Toronto.
And made it look easy, too.
And that was nothing compared to last night.
Yeah, the way the thing about him, great play, obviously. It looks effortless for him. Yeah. It's not
he's a big. I think he's 6'4".
Is he really? Okay,
he's
it's a tremendous outfielder. And I saw a tweet from somebody played with him in college. He said, "Yeah, he did these things like this is who he is.
Mm-hmm.
Highlight real plays like this in the outfield."
Yeah. So, Jay, Mr. Baseball, did you see that? Denzel Clarke.
Oh
last night?
He is.
Wow.
He is already showing to prove that he's got gold glove potential.
Yeah.
Problem is he got to be able to hit.
Yeah.
Right.
And he hasn't hit
Yeah,
much.
he can't hit right now.
Yeah.
But as far as defensively, you can already say he's probably a top 5 center fielder in the game. And it sounds crazy, or ability, I should say. He's got to show it and do it a little bit more. But on the defensive side, he has the ability to be a top 5 guy immediately.
There's more to being a great outfielder than making fantastic catches.
True.
That said, I'll bet you there's a handful of great center fielders all time who never made a catch anything like that.
Right.
Ever.
Can't get to it.
Yeah.
He can get to balls. That's the thing is I've heard this, and this is a Derek Jeter conversation. I don't want to go down the rabbit hole with this, but I've heard people talk about Derek Jeter, like when I was playing and scouts and things like that, that Derek Jeter is overrated defensively because he doesn't get to a lot of balls. So his fielding percentage is always going to be a little higher because he's never going to be able to, make errors or miss a ball because he's not even getting close to some of those balls.
I remember reading once his middle name was Pasta Diving.
Yeah.
Pasta Diving.
Really? Pasta Diving. I like that one.
And so Denzel Clarke has the opportunity because he covers so much ground that
to get there.
Yeah, he's gonna be a handful defensively.
Did you
if he can hit.
Yeah. Did you see the one he made Friday?
Yes.
Pull out, and then he went into the wall.
Yeah.
So anyway, how about that? The A's. And that was on the Today Show today.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Yeah, okay.
My wife came and she just said that was on the Today Show. So good for the A's, good for Denzel Clarke.
It should someone right now, because this is the problem. You guys have seen this. When people are signing players, you make them a cleat. You see some people have bats and things like that. Very few players have glove additions. Someone right now should be looking at him to get like a Spider-Man glove or, like a Punisher, like something Marvel, like somebody should be, or DC, a superhero type glove. Make him one. Get it out there right now.
Yeah. He was like just hanging out on the wall.
Yeah, he was.
Like, what's up?
Yeah. And the way he caught it looked uncomfortable. It looked like it hurt.
Yeah. So that was absolutely amazing. I don't know if it's amazing, but we're talking about a lot of things being thrown around about the Kings today. We mentioned Grant Afseth and his report that the Kings have been talking to the Cavs about Darius Garland, and they've talked to the Hawks, and we're not sure how valid that is, but we've got someone who keeps hammering us here on the text line.
I don't understand, dude.
Just with the same text over and over. Someone who claims to know him and is vouching for him.
You want me to read that, or you're not going to give it the time of
anything to make it stop? And someone just keeps sending the same text over and over and over.
Right. And the thing about it is, it doesn't come across well when you do that. Like the same exact. Add some punctuation or something. Change a word or two. My gosh.
But so that's a lot of Kings fans are talking about that. And then we just talked to Rafael Barlow from the NBA Big Board, and he shared with us that he's hearing. He didn't try to say this is some report or something, but he said he's hearing the Kings are one of the teams that's going to be aggressively trying to move up in the draft. So we've been pondering that a little bit. That's exciting.
That is exciting. And, if Scott Perry is able to pull this off and, ideally get up in there at 18, 19, 20, think about it. We've been talking about this all off season. Got to get younger. Got to get who's our young core. Now you get a young guy that can, you can possibly plug in, be part of your future. Now you're starting to see a little bit of a light, a glimmer of like, okay, what the future might look like if you're Sacramento.
Listen to this from Campy.
Oh, here we
Back
go.
in the 80s, I always knew who was getting traded by the Kings because the travel agency I worked for did the travel for the Kings.
Campy, dude.
He's also trying to take credit for saying on the chat last week that they should trade up for a point guard. I don't know if they would trade up for a point guard. I mean, they might trade for a point guard and get some picks in addition. So we don't know, but that would be perfect if you could address some current needs and also address your future needs with some draft picks. Ooh, that would be shrewd.
Right. And, you got to imagine, because, the Kevin Durant thing supposedly is going to happen, in time for the draft. If something happens, regarding Orlando and draft picks, we're talking 2 weeks from now. We're going to have the draft's in a couple weeks. And so things will be moving soon. I will say this, and correct me if I'm wrong, Whitey, and who knows, maybe they're not announcing everybody that they work out. They haven't worked out a whole lot of potential first round picks.
Right.
Most of the guys they're bringing in are either going to be undrafted guys or second round guys. And so, I don't know if they don't want to tip it off but as we get closer, that's something I'm going to keep an eye on.
Gold, Silver, and Diamond says Scott Perry's front office has more leaks than the Titanic.
What is he talking about?
Well, he's talking about all these reports from all these people, but I don't think they're leaks.
Yeah, I don't think, because a bunch of them we just shot down right here on this show. The Domas to Toronto thing and everything. It's like, these don't seem like leaks to me. And if you're Scott Perry and if you do leak something, you would think it's a little closer to happening. I don't think you leak it June 10th. It just doesn't seem smart.
Yeah, I think Scott Perry would be the type, if there were leaks, he would get that buttoned up right away.
Oh yeah.
Right?
Oh yeah. And the thing, this is why I don't think, these are leaks. I'm looking at Scott Perry. He's a veteran guy. He knows how to use the media, no doubt about that. But BJ Armstrong, Mike Woodson, like the people he's surrounding, I don't think they're playing the leak game.
Right.
Like, in past regimes, if you will.
Here's the thing, Drapes. If somebody with the Kings, anybody, if they're going to leak something, they're not, no offense, they're not going to leak it to Grant Afseth. Right?
Nope. I don't know. According to the text line, big fella, Grant Afseth got some connections inside the organization.
Okay.
Right.
His uncle's leaking something.
Exactly. Oh, you said it. So, no, we'll see, man. We'll see. But no, I'm with you. If anything, Shams, somebody,
Right.
And because usually when you leak things,
you scratch my back, I'll scratch
exactly.
yours. Yeah.
Ain't nobody's, no offense to Grant Afseth. Nobody's scratching his back.
Right.
Yeah.
So we'll find out soon enough.
Okay.
But I'm with you. I'm not putting much stock into the talks. It is fun to talk about. We were talking about Darius Garland on Friday without benefit of any Afseth report.
Yeah. I was wondering, though, with the injury news, does that make you shy away from Garland?
Some people say, oh, you could get him
cheaper now.
But do you want a guy that maybe could be your point guard going forward who's, big toe is kind of important to a point guard.
Yeah. And I don't think we have the assets to get a Darius Garland. Cleveland's going for it now.
Yeah.
And
plus monetarily, it'd be very tricky.
Very tricky. So I just, what is he making? Close to 40, 36, something like that, 37, something like that. Yeah, it just doesn't make sense. Tremendous player. I like him as a player. I just don't see him, it happening. I will say this. I want to say something before we go to break, Whitey, because my phone's been ringing off the hook. I don't know if you've noticed that or not.
Mm-hmm.
Have you been hearing that?
That's pretty.
No,
typical.
but how long have we been doing this show? How long we been doing? Almost, it'll be 2 years come October.
Yeah.
Show ain't changed times. Someday we ain't on 10 to 12 or 1 to 3. I'm always on 2 to 6. And people always call at this time, bro.
I assumed it was breaking news or something.
No, this ain't breaking news. I mean, it's daughter asking for ice cream tonight or something like that. That's all that. No, but it's the same people. Like, I'm at work right now. It's like when we at the golf tournament yesterday. We got the headphones on. We're doing, and people just walk up and start talking.
That's a weird phenomenon.
That really is, right?
Yeah,
it's like it's almost like the headphones invite them to come up and talk even more.
And I don't know about you, your strategy. I try to kind of look at them, give them a second to realize that you're on the air, and then you wait. Sometimes you have to tell them I'm on the air, And then for some people, it's like, they don't
They
care.
don't care.
Some people are like, oh, I'm so sorry. Other people are like, okay, great. Hey, let me tell you what else I'm thinking.
Well, and we got to say this too. And, some of the people that walked up to us yesterday, they've been out in the sun all day.
Right.
Enjoying themselves, partaking in whatever the golf tournament had to offer, if you know what I mean. So they might not have been, 100% there. Like a couple of people walked up and I could just see it on their face. I'm like, oh, this dude's had too much fun out on the course today.
Yeah,
so.
that was fun yesterday. Thanks again. I know I thanked you last night, but thanks for lining that up.
No, it was a little, I'm glad it worked out and you guys held it down for the most part. It got a little off the rails a little bit there with Kenny Thomas and everything, but no, it was good, man. I'm glad we were able to get out there.
When we come back, Tyrese Halliburton, is he a superstar? Does it matter if he's a superstar? That and more coming up on Sacktown Sports.
Now more than ever, Lowe's knows you don't just want a low price, you want the lowest price. And with our lowest price guarantee, you can count on us for competitive prices on all your home improvement projects. If you find a qualifying lower price somewhere else on the same item, we'll match it. Lowe's, we help, you save. Price match applies the same item. Current price at qualifying retailers. Exclusions and terms apply. Learn how we'll match price at lowes.com/lowest price guarantee.
This is the story of the one. As a safety manager at a manufacturing plant, he does everything he can to keep his coworkers safe. From finding ways to reduce risks to keeping safety supplies in stock. And for that, he relies on Grainger. Grainger offers a broad range of quality products and next-day delivery, so he can always play it safe. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Capital Casino, conveniently located on 411th North 16th Street in downtown Sacramento.
Hagen Oaks wants to be your go-to total golf game fitter. Try the TrackMan experience, the very best technology to fit your metalwoods and irons. The new cutting-edge putter fitting studio with its $30,000 worth of technology is ready for your fitting. Hagen Oaks will help you find the best putter for your game. Hagen Oaks offers more technology, more choices, and more service. Schedule your fitting at the Hagen Oaks Player Performance Studio by calling 916-808-2531, 808-2531 for more.
The only station in Sacramento giving you local sports coverage from 6 a.m. to 6 p.m. Monday through Friday. Sacktown Sports.
On the text line, thanks for being with us. Thanks for sharing. 339-1140, 1-800-920-1140. Would any trades happen before the finals end, or do we have to wait until they're complete? I thought I read a report that Scott Perry did not like the trade package to acquire Young from the Hawks.
Hey, I'm telling you what. I know I get paid handsomely here at Sacktown Sports 1140. I know that's my job. But you and Jay may have to do the next 3 weeks of the show.
What happened?
No, just I thought I read a report that Scott Perry. First of all, the Atlanta Hawks story came out from Grant Assath or whatever his name is.
It's Grant Affleck.
And now,
it's not. Grant Affleck.
Now there's somebody else's report that says Scott Perry didn't like. That's too much for me, Whitey. I need something to happen, man. I need some games to talk about or something, because this is ridiculous.
But we're all hanging on all of this, just waiting to find out anything about anybody with
who though? Who's hanging on?
Ain't nobody.
Yeah, I'm like, who's hanging on?
The people that are talking about what they've read and what they've heard, and you go on, X, and people are throwing these things around. I'm just looking for the update on this report.
Don't you think that's why some certain people are doing it? And I'm not accusing Grant of doing this, but I'm saying it. Don't you think that's part of why we continuously keep seeing some of these erroneous reports where people like sources have told me? Well, yeah, sources told me too. Whitey told me that they're looking to trade. Yeah, so sources have told me that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, here's what Grant Affseth said. He said, Hawks spoke with the Kings about a Trey Young trade. However, talk stalled. So if you're going to put any stock in that, that's what happened. Why the talk stalled, I don't know. My guess is Drapes. By the way, I've done a kind of a 180. I mentioned this yesterday when you were golfing. Jay has said, I'll talk to everybody about anything. And that's my new philosophy on the Kings. Sometimes you'll say, what about this guy? What about that guy? And as you know, sometimes I don't know. No. And now I'm like, yes to everything. Talking, yes. I want to talk to everybody about everybody. So I'm open to talking.
So you're open to talk to Grant Afseth.
Well, yeah, but I mean, if I'm the Kings, any team.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
I'm talking to everybody.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, no doubt.
I would think it's possible, if not likely, they did talk to the Hawks. They talked to everybody about everybody. That doesn't mean that they're working feverishly to put a deal together for Trey Young. It could mean that they talk to the Hawks. Hey, you got Trey Young. What's it going to cost Trey Young? Oh, it's going to cost this and this and that. Okay, we're not interested. Thank you. And then what you get is, talks have stalled. The Kings are probably talking to everybody about every player.
Right. And here's the thing about it too, Whitey. How serious and substantive are these talks?
Right.
Is it, I'm on the golf course. Hey, what's up with Trey Young? No, and then it dies out there. Like, when we talk about what are actual talks?
Right.
Dude, we talk about everybody on this show.
Yes.
That doesn't matter. That doesn't mean it's, Scott Perry's going to do it. And so I'm with you. If I'm Scott Perry, if I'm running a team, I'm calling every GM, every president of basketball operations, and talking about anybody I would think could help my roster.
I'm casting my net wide.
Exactly. Here's the thing. I go back to the Luka trade, and I may be off by this, but Rob Pelinka didn't know Luka would be available. If you're Scott Perry, if you're a GM, who knows? Tatum might be you call on her. If you don't have those talks, those conversations, you might not get the Luka package or a Jaylen Brown or something like that. And so it's his job to talk about pretty much everybody.
It's every GM's job to have some idea of what's going on with every player, who's available, who's
not. Okay.
Yeah,
I see what you're saying.
Yeah.
So what you're saying then is we could put out anything.
Yeah, even if they did talk, that doesn't mean that it's
right.
Ooh, here we go.
Oh, they want to get them. It's interesting, progressing. Yeah, I hear you.
Yeah,
I hear you.
What did you think of this? We talked about this yesterday. I'm sure you saw it, but you were playing golf, so we didn't talk about it yesterday. Porzingis and draft capital. Now it'd be really tricky financially, contract wise.
Yeah, he's what, $30 million. I'm interested in Porzingis. I think he fits well with Domas.
Yes.
Out there. He could stretch the floor. He could block some shots.
Expiring deal.
And, who was it we had on yesterday? OP, Olden Polynice. That moves Domas back to the 4 spot. You can move Domas back to the 5 and go a little smaller. Like, you get so many options. The only issue is it's not younger. And if you do get Porzingis expiring contract, how much does he really help you?
Maybe not much, but that's why it hinges on the draft capital. If they will,
it's about the draft capital.
Take him. What are we talking about?
So a Celtics first round pick?
Yeah, it's not going to be a great.
That's what I was wondering.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah.
But still, I could use it.
Yeah, and it could clear up some cap space. With that expiring contract going forward, and so. I'm kicking the tires on that. I would not be, especially like you said, the draft capital. What if it's not a first round pick? What if it's just a second?
I think I'd
something?
be out.
Really?
Yeah.
It got to be a first.
Yeah. To me, how about you? A Boston second rounder.
I mean, I might be willing because I think the player helps you right now anyway. You get that player, he improves you. And then the draft capital is almost just added on top, if you will.
The reason I would need a first rounder is because I think it's quite possible that I get him next year and he plays 42 games.
Come on, man.
I hope not.
How many did Chris Stapps? I understand he had some issues this season.
I'm not holding that against him, but I just got to cover my assets.
Well, I'll say this.
I don't breathe in the playoffs.
Well, I if I'm correct, Scott Perry was the one that traded Porzingis from the Knicks a few years ago. I do believe, that was Scott's first year. He played under 17-18 was Porzingis last year playing with the Knicks.
I remember reports. I don't know how valid they were that he was trying to trade Porzingis to the Kings for Fox.
Really?
Because he thought they're going to take Luka. Take Luka, give us Fox, we'll give you Zinger.
You Zinger. You got Luka and Zinger.
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah. I'd be shocked if Porzingis came to Sacramento, like Scott, especially knowing the injury history.
Yeah.
You're right, Whitey. He played 42 this past season, 57 the season before, 65, 51, 43, 57. Yeah. He's only played more than 60 games, 1, 2, 3 seasons of his career. Wow. Yeah, you might be right about that. What you got?
It's not Campy's finest moment. Kings need a dog at the 5. Perry looking at Cousins. I don't think we need to go there.
What are you doing, Campy? Dude, he's off at the rails today, man.
Yes.
Yeah, calm down, big fella. My gosh. I don't even know. We're not going to talk about that, right? That's not on your rundown there, right?
I didn't have it in there. Jay mentioned it earlier. It came up.
It
right?
came up.
Somehow it came up because came up.
Oh, yeah. I was saying, it was something about, I don't remember.
I don't remember how.
I don't remember how.
I'm like, how does Cousins get into today's conversation? But okay. All right. Yeah.
I just felt bad for him seeing that.
Puerto Rican league, right?
Yeah.
Puerto Rico.
Yeah.
That's tough.
Yeah.
That's and all the different camera angles and, the fan in the front row and the fans throwing stuff at him and everything. Yeah, it's that's pretty rough to watch.
Yeah. It was bad. Could have been worse. Yeah. Wish him the best.
Yeah.
Wish him the best. Tyrese Halliburton, is he a superstar? Drapes, Jay, dear listener, does it matter? I know Bomani was saying yesterday, he's not a superstar, but that's okay.
Right.
He doesn't have to be. But if they don't win this series, which they probably won't, a lot of people will look at him if he doesn't end up scoring, 30 a game and say, yeah, they needed him to be a superstar, and he wasn't. Is Tyrese a superstar?
I don't know if he's a superstar. He's a star, yes. Is he a superstar?
He's not a score-first guy. I know Howard Beck wrote about this.
Yeah.
That's not really his game.
Right, that's not his game.
And it's what a lot of people expect from superstar.
But I look at Tyrese, and when I see a superstar, there's only a handful of superstars, I think, in the league. I'll tell you. LeBron, Steph, KD, Giannis, Jokic, Luka, and maybe my boy Tatum. To me, there aren't, and maybe is CP3 still a superstar?
Well, I was going to ask you, can you be a superstar? Once you're a superstar, are you always a superstar, or can you slide back?
I think you might slide back, but CP3's in the commercials, and my kids know, and my daughter knows who he is.
Once you're a superstar, you're always a superstar. Yeah.
I don't think Tyrese is a superstar, and it's no knock on him. It is what it is. It's I think being a superstar, and we've had this conversation before, you got to have some crossover appeal. And I know he does in the WWE world, so I got to give him credit for that. But I think it's just, to me, a superstar is they can't walk down the street without people mobbing them, swarming them. They can't go overseas without people swarming them. I don't think Tyrese is at that point.
He also hasn't been in the league that long.
Right. Is Anthony Edwards a superstar? I don't think so.
Close.
Personally, he's close, but I don't think he's there yet.
I got a list for you.
Yeah, who you got?
The Kevin 7, the 7 best players drafted since 2020.
Okay.
So I bring it up here because
Kevin 7.
Are any of these guys superstars?
Okay.
And you may disagree, but here's my order. 7 is Paolo, who was the first pick 2022. 6, Evan Mobley, third pick in 2021. 5th, Cade Cunningham, first pick in 2021. 4, Jalen Williams, 12th pick in 2022. Tyrese 3, 12th pick in 2020. Wemby, number 2, first pick in 2023. And Ant-Man, 2020. Those are, in my view, the best players since the 2020 draft. Maybe Wemby's a superstar. It's hard to become a superstar that quickly. Unless you're, like a LeBron or something.
Well, Wemby is interesting because I don't think he could just walk down the street. I think, who was it? Britney Spears or somebody?
Yeah.
Trying to catch up,
right.
And so, no, I think Wemby might be scratching the surface on being a superstar.
Ant's probably the closest, huh?
Yeah. Yeah, but the thing about Ant, I know he's in a movie, got some commercials, the kids love him and everything like that, but he's not, I don't know if he's crossing over yet like that, though. Like, for instance, my boy Tatum. He's got the Lay's, the Ruffles commercials. He's, his mom's on Good Morning America and everything like that.
So for you, superstar goes really beyond what you do on the court.
Oh, 1,000%. 1,000%. To me, how about this? To me, a superstar moves the needle outside of basketball. LeBron, Curry, like those guys, they're their own economy almost. You know what I mean? Like wherever they go, like Ant-Man, I don't think he moves like those guys, LeBron and Curry. Durant does to an extent, but even he's like just on the on the fringe.
Did you have Luka on your list of superstars? I don't remember.
I did.
You did. Okay,
I did because I think Luka moves the needle. Like people go crazy over Luka. Internationally, I'm talking about too. Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, I don't think there's any way Tyrese Halliburton is a superstar right now. I don't know if he ever will be, but I don't think that's what they need him to be.
Right. They need him to be a superstar?
I don't think they need him to be a superstar. They just need him to keep everybody happy and play well. And, I think when he has a game like he did in game 1, wow, boom, he finished well. He won the game for him. But he didn't score 30. He's not a score-first guy.
Well, I will say this, though. He can't be a role player out there, though. And to your point, that doesn't mean he has to score 30.
Yeah, he has to be impactful.
But he has to be impactful.
Yes.
He can't all of a sudden in the fourth quarter be impactful. Like, he, to me, is the litmus test for the team. When he's playing good, high level, impactful, getting to the paint, setting guys up. But if you can't tell he's out there, the Pacers are a beatable team.
I'm with you on that. Tell you why the Kings are actually getting excited about a player they worked out yesterday when we come back to Sack Down Sports next.
Malik Monk plays here.
Started left, goes right, steps back, launches the three. Nothing but net. Oh, that was just filthy. Oh, my, that was sweet.
Sack Down Sports is your proud home of the Sacramento Kings.
When emergencies like wildfires, hurricanes, or severe storms strike, reliable communication can save lives. Still, many families don't have a plan. Craig Martinez, National Public Safety Strategist at T-Mobile, has more.
First responders handle more than 200 million emergencies every year. They depend on strong networks, but in a crisis, those systems can fail when we need them most.
In 2024, there were 27 U.S. weather and climate disasters with losses exceeding $1 billion each. Despite this, a new T-Mobile survey shows 34% of adults don't have a clear communications plan, even though most say reliable mobile communication is as essential as food and water in a disaster.
Preparedness isn't just about supplies, it's about staying connected. Many first responders say unreliable networks are still their biggest concern during emergencies.
With T-Priority, T-Mobile is providing first responders with a dedicated slice of its 5G network to give them more capacity, faster 5G speeds, and the highest priority. To learn more, visit tpriority.com.
Get ready for a night out with Jordan Davis. It's Country in the Park 2, Saturday, September 13th at Cal Expo. Along with the special guests, Mitchell Tenpenny, Locash, Vincent Mason, and Abriana. Make it a family day out with food trucks, games, dancing, and more. Saturday, September 13th at Cal Expo with Michelob Ultra. Tickets are available now at CITPFest.com.
Hello, Sacramento. I'm Emran Pilati, owner of True Sports Cards and Collectible Store here in Rockland, California, and the host of the True Sports Cards Show that airs right here on Sacktown Sports 1140 every Saturday from 10 to 11 a.m., where we discuss the latest trends, hottest products, and deliver exclusive interviews with other industry leaders. And don't forget to visit our shop, True Sports Cards, at 6661 Stanford Ranch Road in Rockland and see what we have for all your sports card and memorabilia needs.
Hey, it's Carmichael Dave here for American Energy, and oh my goodness, I've I'm born and raised here. I know it gets hot, but my goodness, we're already seeing 100-degree days. Listen to me. You do not want your system to conk out in the middle of June or July or August with one of those big 100-degree stretches. You want to make sure you're good all summer long. And my friends at American Energy Heating and Air can do that with a $24.50 tune-up right now. That's half price. And if you need a new system, $3,500 off, up to $3,500 off in rebates for qualified systems. They've been around since 1981, serving the greater Sacramento area. A+ with the Better Business Bureau. Call them right now, 916-520-9990. That's 916-520-9990. Jingle Singers, take it away.
Call 916-520-9990 now.
Your next adventure is waiting at Sky River Casino with a $500,000 travel around the world giveaway. Get one free daily entry and 100 bonus entries every Monday and Tuesday. Earn more entries by playing slots and table games. Join us every Saturday, where you can pack your bags as our guaranteed $15,000 dream vacation winner. Visit skyriver.com for details. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. Must be 21 or older.
The Drive Guys powering your afternoons Monday through Friday on Sacktown Sports.
All right, we're going to try to clarify something here, something we've been throwing around, and it goes back to something Evan Siddery posted today on X, and I'll read what he posted. The Magic are open to packaging Jonathan Isaac and or Cole Anthony with their 2 first-round draft picks to acquire a rotational upgrade per Kevin O'Connor NBA. And Drape said, well, you know, we got to track down that sound to see if that's actually what he said. Jay has been working around the clock to track down that quote. So this is whatever Kevin O'Connor said that spawned that tweet. This is exactly what it was.
Orlando's interesting. You mentioned them because I've
very
heard
interesting.
I've heard that they are open to trading Cole Anthony and Jonathan Isaac with their first for an upgrade there. And I'm just trying to do the math in my head. Getting Lauri Markkanen for those 2 salaries is close financially, but do you have too many like 6'10" shot creators?
Okay, so he was talking about the Lauri Markkanen speculation. Yeah. He does not say 2 first there.
And that was Chris Mannix. Chris Mannix was the other one that was
on with him.
Yeah, they were literally talking about Utah, Lauri Markkanen, and Danny Ainge needs to get off Lauri Markkanen and other players.
Gotcha. Thank you, Jay. As you said, Drapes, and I had the same reaction. I think a lot of fans felt the same way with that Siddery report. It's like, that's way too much. But that's not what O'Connor said.
It's not what O'Connor said. And it was specific to Lauri Markkanen, too. We gotta, and do we think Lowry and DeMar are in the same? I don't know. Are in the same view that Orlando has of that. And he said Anthony and Jonathan Isaac. I didn't hear an and or in that soundbite. Jay, you want to run it through one more time?
This is Kevin O'Connor talking about the
Orlando's interesting. You mentioned them because I've
very
heard
interesting.
I've heard that they are open to trading Cole Anthony and Jonathan Isaac with their first for an upgrade there. And I'm just trying to do the math in my head.
Yep.
Getting Lauri Markkanen.
Yeah, that's not
he said Cole Anthony, Isaac, and their first.
Right. Which is not what Siddery
not what Siddery. That's what I'm talking about. Lady, you and Jay might be. I'm telling you. You're about 2 hours on the way from being on.
That's what we do on this show.
Yeah. I can't do it, man.
I'm with you, man. I'm with you.
We look at these and hold it up to the light and go, nope. That's not what it's supposed to be.
I will say, fellas, you didn't have the opportunity to listen to it. I try to listen to like a minute before and a minute after. They were discussing teams. They were and just so if anyone wants to question the fact, they talked about Boston, talked about Jaylen Brown being on the move. They talked about the Spurs. They talked about Kevin Durant. They talked about Giannis prior to that. That was like the first 15 minutes of the podcast, Kevin O'Connor. And he had Chris Mannix first 30, 40 minutes as the first guest, and he moves on, just in case anybody wants to question it. After he mentions that, they are talking about Orlando is looking for a shot maker. Orlando is looking for, both of them say they have heard that Orlando believes, just what you said, Whitey, they're close. Defensively, they're better than what a lot of people believe they are, and they're looking for someone to take them to the next level. They love what Paolo Banchero, Chris Mannix, pronounces his name wrong, by the way, so we should text Chris and make sure he knows how to pronounce Paolo's name. But beyond that, that was the only thing they talked about when it came to Orlando as far as trade. Kevin O'Connor, that was the only sentence he said as far as this is what they're looking to trade.
Yeah, and he literally said, I've heard. I've heard. So,
and
they
are ready to make a move. He said they are looking to make moves.
He didn't say the people I've talked to or anything. He said, I've heard.
Right.
That could be anything.
Right.
That could be anything. And, and we go back to, how we started this conversation with Isaac, Cole Anthony, and first. That's a lot. Maybe too much for what we may have to offer.
I'd still give him a call.
Oh, yeah. You hear that? You know what? If you're, like you said earlier, if you're Scott Perry, you hear anything,
right?
You checking in on it. I actually like those two people, two players. I will say this about the point guard position for the Sacramento Kings. I think the Cole Anthony types, sort of the stopgaps, bridge is the route, because swinging for the fences on a Ja Morant, you got to give up half your team and all your picks, basically.
And
Trey Young.
And there's a lot of risk.
And there's a lot of risk.
And you're assuming a lot of risk.
Right. These point guards that could be available, there's a reason why they're available. There's a lot of risk to them.
Do you feel the same way about Trey Young?
Yeah,
I do.
Yeah, 100%. And I like Trey, the basketball player. I just don't think we need a culture setter here. We need somebody that's actually going to lead not only the team, but the franchise, be the face of the franchise. I don't know how much Trey Young is actually the face of the franchise. He's their star player in Atlanta, but how much outside of that basketball community? Like, I don't know. I don't know. That.
I just think there's tremendous risk in getting Ja or Trey Young and assuming they're going to be here what they weren't able to be in the cities where they were drafted. That's why they were drafted. They were supposed to be that. Didn't work out for whatever reason. Now you're going to assume that, all right, well, we can make it work. That's awfully risky. One name, we talked about this earlier, that the Kings, a lot of Kings fans anyway, are excited about a guy they worked out yesterday, Tyrese Proctor. And, Kings fans have this idea that we need a point guard. We need a point guard. We're all fixating on that a little bit. Tyrese Proctor is a pretty good guard. Got some size, went to Duke, but I don't think at 42 you're going to get your point guard of the future, Drapes. I'm sorry. If you get a guy that can be a part of your rotation,
right,
your point guard of the future at 42,
No, I'm with you on that.
Can't do that.
First of all, second rounders, if he just makes the team, that's a success, right?
And nothing against him or anybody.
Right. It's just the nature of, the Manu Ginobili's, the Jokic's, that's like hitting the lottery. That's hitting Powerball, if you will.
And I would suggest it's even harder to hit that lottery because guys like that are much better scouted now than
right.
They were,
All right.
when they
Right.
were drafted.
100%. And I'm looking at, this mock draft that I have. They have Proctor going 36, I believe. And so here's the thing about it too, Whitey. If we're feeling this way, mock drafts are saying this. I got to believe the NBA GMs and president, they know about this guy too.
Sure.
So he might not even be there at 42, excuse me.
Yeah.
And so
I know Rafael Barlow, I asked him that. He said, he'll probably be there. I mean, who knows? But there are a number of mocks in which he's not there at 42.
Right. Yeah, exactly. And so you're right. That's why I think it's more likely we move up. And here's the thing. If Proctor is your guy, let's say he's on the big board and we got him listed as high. We're not just going to sit at 42 hum-dee-dee-dee-dee and wait for him to drop to us. If Scott Perry and them really think he's the guy, they're going to move up to go get him. And so I think we'll learn a lot, obviously, come draft night. I'm hoping we jump up into the first round.
Yes.
Because to me, that signals, Whitey, that there's a player that they are targeting and that they're high on, that they want, and it's probably a guy that can help immediately.
Jeremiah Fears.
You like that, huh? Now that's way up high, isn't he? Where they got him listed at?
He's in the top 10.
Right. That's what I'm saying. Oh, can you imagine if we did that? Now we got our, card of the future, the guy to run things.
Yeah. The conversation rolls on here, Drive Guys. When we come right back, talking a lot of Kings today and potential moves on Sacktown Sports.
Sacramento weather is brought to you by Fidium Fiber.
I'm Dirk Verdorn in the KCRA 3 Weather Center. Nice Delta breeze will have to cool things off through this evening and overnight tonight. Temperatures eventually dropping off into the 50s. We'll be warming into the mid to upper 80s as we head through Wednesday afternoon. Get the latest forecasts on the KCRA 3 News and the KCRA 3 app.
It's about time they
fix that pothole.
Invented better windshield wipers.
Made an internet that just works. Fidium Fiber Internet, starting at only $30 a month. It feels like Fidium. Offer available to residential customers only. Terms and conditions apply. See Fidium.com for details.
I'm Ed Evans, CEO of Consumer Cellular. No, we're not one of the big guys. Truth is, we don't want to be. If you're over 50, Big Wireless probably has you paying for more data than you might need. You could be throwing away thousands over a lifetime. We're not here to be the biggest. We're here to bring you something we believe is better. Our plans start at just $20. You'll get the same fast nationwide coverage without the big wireless bill.
Call 1-888-FREEDOM or visit consumercellular.com/facts. Plans include $5 credit for auto pay and e-billing. See site for additional facts.
This is Secret Clinical dominating extra stinky stress sweat. And this is regular deodorant. Secret Clinical in a heat wave. Oh, what a beautiful day. This is regular deodorant. Ugh, I can't. Secret Clinical with workout sweat. Let's run another marathon. And regular deodorant. How much more? Secret is the GOAT because nothing fights sweat better.
Stay fresher under pressure.
Hey, listen to this. All I needed was a new starter. Got a great deal on eBay. Did it myself.
Yeah, that's cool. But how about the soft purr of an upgraded exhaust when it fits just right?
For me, it's the little things, like these new windshield wipers from eBay I installed. From small fixes to big upgrades, eBay has all the parts you need at prices you'll love, guaranteed to fit every time. eBay, things people love. Eligible items only. Exclusions apply.
This is the story of the one. As a lineman, he does whatever it takes to keep the power on in his community. And he wants a partner like Grainger who does the same. Grainger offers the professional-grade products he needs, from voltage detectors to harnesses to hard hats, plus fast, dependable delivery, so he can rise to every challenge. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Hey, it's Carmichael Dave here for Capital Casino, Sacramento's #1 poker room, inviting you to come join them every Wednesday for their midweek madness drawing, giving away $2,000 in total cash starting at 6 p.m. It's a safe and friendly environment, plenty of well-lit parking available, and it's conveniently located right there in downtown Sacramento. And remember, best food, best service, best games, 411 North 16th Street in downtown Sacramento. For more information, log on to capital-casino.com and gamble responsibly. 1-800-GAMBLER.
When you're young, life is full of choices. Don't let opioids like highly addictive and deadly fentanyl take away your life with just one wrong pill. Addiction is a disease that can affect anyone at any age. But there is a choice to get help for this disease. Find medically proven treatment options, including virtual, at choosemat.org.
The only station in Sacramento giving you local sports coverage from 6 a.m. to 6 p.m. Monday through Friday. Sacktown Sports.
I know it's fun to cook up trades. I think it's irresponsible for people in the media to throw out trades and suggest there could be something to them when there's not. I think it's unfair to fans. I have another bad trade rumor of the day for me. This one isn't even a basketball one. I want to see what you guys think of this.
Dude, you be finding all these, but go ahead.
I know. Maybe I'm wrong. Tell me if I'm wrong. I don't think I am. But have you heard about the potential trade between the 49ers and the Commanders, Brandon Ayuk and Terry McLaurin? Terry McLaurin
just swapping those?
He's holding out. He's not happy. Okay. He had a great year last year.
Yeah.
So some people are saying, well, Ayuk, he posted something on Instagram of, what was it, Terrell Owens working out or something? He said, he's not happy. He wants out. So now you got people saying, that's a great trade. But there's the trade right there. What a home run for the 49ers. Why in the world would Washington trade Terry McLaurin for a guy who is hurt and we don't know when he's going to be on the field again?
I'm with you on that.
You don't know if he can be.
He might not be the same player.
Yeah, and he makes a lot of money. It just doesn't make any sense.
0 sense. If you're the Niners, you're doing that, though?
Probably,
right? Yeah.
Yes, and I get that.
You don't know what Ayuk is anymore. And so, Who comes up with this stuff? Was there an actual report or somebody just reading, social media posts and surmising, maybe?
Well, I know Grant Cohn suggested it, that's one thing, I guess. Hey, you should do this. But then for that to then become a trade rumor. Trade rumor is teams are talking about it. Word is they're talking about it. And there's no word that teams are talking about this. So it's just, there's that vacuum and people need things to talk about. We all do, and I look for things to talk about all the time. But then you have just a germ of an idea and it becomes, they're talking to, whoosh, did you hear this trade rumor? That's not a trade rumor.
Why are you killing me, man?
And it's not a trade report.
It's not even a report.
Right. It's someone going, hey, that'd be good for the Niners. Yeah, it would be. Thanks.
And then, people just take it and run with it. And, the thing about social media, and I've thought about this for a while now. I'm not as active on social media as I used to be. And some have urged me to be more active, good for your brand and all this. Then I'm like, I don't need to voice an opinion on everything. I don't, and I feel like, especially in today's, if I say something or you say something, somebody may pick it up and run with it or anything like that. I'm like, I'm going to stay out of that space. I'll stick to my, Facebook and Instagram and stuff like that. But this whole, it's the lines are so blurred from what's a report versus an opinion versus a wish versus was just, exercising ideas that I'm throwing out. And so to your point, just because a Grant Cohn or somebody says something doesn't make it true. Like just because, Ayuk for McLaurin would be a good trade. And then that becomes a whole story.
And then it gets ratcheted up to trade rumor. The teams are talking about this deal. The 49ers are idiots. Why don't they get it done?
Yeah. Why do you think, and you've been part of sports talk radio much longer than I have, and
62 years.
What was it like before 62 years? What was it like before this social media and all this talk and like, what did you actually talk about?
Well, there were certain people, certain writers that had the bulk of the power because they were the ones like the legitimate guys. Now, you didn't have people on the fringe.
Right.
So the people that wrote, in the newspaper, when they'd have their columns,
then you'd have them on.
Peter Vesey, Vesey. I remember reading about how on Sundays and hearing about how players in the NBA, the players would get, what was he in the Times or the Post, New York Times, and they couldn't wait to read his thing on Sunday to see what was going on.
Yeah.
And I think it's great that with social media, players got to the point where they don't need the middleman. It's like, I don't need a reporter to tell fans what I'm thinking. I'll tell you myself. That's good.
Right.
But then it's just gotten so watered down with so many people trying to fill the space. And then the standards of journalism kind of eroding a little bit, which is happening all over. So yeah, you just got to be careful. Most people know that. And, but it's just a little discouraging sometimes to have to wade through it all.
So, because, one of my issues I have is if somebody tweets something, should we as sports talk radio hosts rush to them? Oh, this guy said this, so let's have him on air. Like, or are we giving life to nonsense, basically?
Well, I think we're all on the same page here, the three of us, that we're trying to be a little more discerning, right?
Yeah.
We're trying to be.
Yeah.
And we've done that today. We look at the reports. This is what so-and-so said, somebody else said. Did somebody else actually say that? All right, where does that leave us? I mean, we're trying, and we're not trying to ruin anybody's fun or anything.
Mm-hmm.
We're just, for the sake of fans who right now, with nothing going on with the Kings, are so desperate to figure out what's going on. We're just trying to give some clarity to what may or may not actually be going on.
Right. And we try to, separate fact from fiction, and,
I think we've done a nice little job
but
of
it's
that
like
last couple weeks.
every day there's something new.
Oh,
though.
yeah.
It's something new. And it's just, the thing that bothers me the most too, not only with this, people who purposefully post lies,
right?
Fake stuff.
Yeah.
Like the people actually put that out there. So-and-so did this, or so-and-so's doing this, or this trade, knowingly putting that out there. It's like, and that's why I always got to do, it's like two-factor authentication.
Yeah.
It really got to be like 3. It's like, all right, Grant F. Seth said this. Let me look deeper into it. Let me look at his background, where he's at, how many followers, who's following, all that, it's.
Don't you think it's gotten to a point? I know you've worked for, NBC Sports, and they do a lot of, journalism reporting on things.
Yeah.
You report on things, but it seems to me in the last 10, 15 years, we've actually heard people say, the people who are doing it, not everyone, but some saying they don't care if I'm right. They want me to be first.
Right. 100%. And that's part of the problem too, right? It's a rush to, be first instead of a rush to get it right.
Mm-hmm.
And, I'm looking at Grant F. Seth's followers, our boy Tony Jones follows him. I'm going to text Tony and see, can he vouch for this Grant F. Seth guy? And so it just seems like it's coming out of left field with some of this stuff.
Yeah. And the Seth, story is that the Kings have talked to the Hawks about Trey Young, and that those talks fell apart, and that they're looking at Darius Garland as potentially their point guard of the future. So
okay,
right? I mean, that's what we're talking about.
That's what we're talking about. Yeah. It's, fortunately for me, to an extent, as a team employee, I don't have to delve too much into the rumors and try to break news or anything like that, but I will say this. I forget who it was I was listening to. We got an NBA Finals going on right now. 2 really good games. And that's not even, it's like on second page B, like the top stories are all these Kevin Durant trade rumors. Who the Knicks going to hire? I was talking to somebody earlier today, as a matter of fact. And they were watching, what's that show on ESPN? Not First Take, the one before. And they didn't talk at all about the NBA Get Up.
Yeah.
Didn't talk at all about the NBA Finals matchup, which is tomorrow. But it was about Durant. It was about Giannis. It was about the Knicks.
There must be something about hearing news and rumors that triggers part of our brain. I don't know. That's like, ooh, I've got something I got to tell my friends now. We're all watching the game. I can't tell him who won. He knows he watched it. But, ooh, I have the scoop on so-and-so. Or, ooh, I don't know. It's weird the way we get so excited about what could happen in these rumors.
Yeah.
Whoa.
Yeah.
And it's been that way for years now.
It's been that way for a while, and I think, for me, personally, as I see our boy Denzel Clarke on SportsCenter right now, talking about his great catch last night. I think for me, Whitey, that is an amazing catch. I have a hard time being in the present. I'm always looking in the future. And I think as a society, we're always looking at not satisfied with what we have, but, the possibility, the hope that something big could happen.
I mean, I admit I'm very excited to hear whatever the Kings may actually do. I'm just trying to be careful about figuring out which reports are substantial and which are not. I'm very excited about it.
Right. We need some things to happen,
Yeah.
Whether it's Durant in a couple of weeks, whether it's, Orlando, something got to happen soon.
Yeah.
And we got 4 hours to fill. Alan Stiles got 4, Carmichael Dave got 4 hours to fill. And especially this time of year when you really don't have games, you don't have, football going on yet or anything, you got to fill that time with something. And so I'm not, begrudging Alan for doing that or us or anything, but it gets tiring, man. It gets tired chasing every single tweet that's out there.
Jay and I went around on this yesterday a little bit. It's a very unique time in Kings fan history because right now there's just nothing. You don't have even a first round pick to get excited about. Maybe that changes. Typically when the season's been bad, then all right, it's draft season, and you talk about, I think they should take this. We just did it last year.
Yeah.
But it's now 2 of the last 3 years the Kings haven't even had a first round
Haven't
pick.
even had a first round pick.
Criticizing them. There's plenty of time for that. But just from a fan standpoint, it's just, give me something to work with. What's going on?
Right.
It's
Give us
hard to
something.
wait.
Yeah, you're right. It's, because if we had a first round pick, we'd be diving into the mock drafts and everything.
Yeah.
We'd be looking at, each player and everything like that. And we just don't have that right now. And so drafts in a couple of weeks, right? You're off next week. Leaving me and Jay to deal with it for a full week.
You'll take it to the next level.
Yeah. We'll figure something out.
We'll look at this report, such as it is. What could it mean for the Kings next? Sacktown Sports.
This is the story of the one. As a safety manager at a manufacturing plant, he does everything he can to keep his coworkers safe. From finding ways to reduce risks to keeping safety supplies in stock. And for that, he relies on Grainger. Grainger offers a broad range of quality products and next-day delivery, so he can always play it safe. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Alan Stiles here with your Sacktown Sports Injury Update, brought to you by Downtown LA Law Group. Shea Langoliers exited a game last week after experiencing discomfort following a swing. The A's will have more information as to the severity of the injury after he undergoes further testing. Miguel Andujar, out with that right oblique strain, suffered it during a swing as well. He will be out a couple weeks, if not longer, per the A's Director of Sports Medicine and Rehabilitation, Brian Shulman. That was your Sacktown Sports Injury Update, brought to you by Downtown LA Law Group. Hey, I'm Alan Stiles. Have an injury? Call Downtown. Downtown LA Law Group, an injury law firm, has many happy clients in Sacramento and the surrounding areas who have called Downtown. Get paid for your injuries from slip and falls or auto accidents. One of their most recent settlements was $1.5 million for a motorcycle accident. Have you had an auto accident? Call Downtown. Text injury help to 40222. That's injury help to 40222 and visit them at calldowntown.com.
I'm Ken Korak with your Green and Gold Report, brought to you by Comcast Business, powering possibilities. Well, looking for something positive in the midst of a dismal stretch for the A's, center fielder Denzel Clarke, finishing his second weekend in the big leagues and playing in his hometown of Toronto, went 4 for 9 with a home run in the last 3 games of the series, and also made a sensational Spider-Man leaping catch over the wall in center field, robbing Alejandro Kirk of a home run. Comcast Business helps turn today's small businesses into engines of modern business. It's how restaurants become reliably up and running neighborhood favorites. It's how retailers become seamlessly restocking, cyber-securing must-visit shops. And it's how healthcare offices become data-managing caregivers that we all depend on. With reliable connectivity, enhanced cybersecurity, advanced fiber solutions, and Wi-Fi backup, Comcast Business is powering the engine of modern business.
Trey Songz, live. All the hits, all in one night. Trey Songz. Friday, June 20th, the venue at Thunder Valley. With special guest, Jeremiah. For tickets, visit ThunderValleyResort.com and see the show. Trey Songz, Friday, June 20th, the venue at Thunder Valley.
Finally, an easy way to find home improvement contractors. Just visit subcontractorsunited.com and simplify your search for home services professionals. From cabinets to windows, roofing to plumbing, Subcontractors United is an easy, simple way to find and hire a home improvement contractor. And you never have to give up personal information. So no harassing phone calls like you get from those other websites. Subcontractorsunited.com is sponsored by D&D Cabinets and Savage Design.
KHD1 Sacramento, KYMX HD3 Sacramento.
From the Power Business Technology Toshiba Studios, Sacktown Sports 1140. Live and local, it's the Drive Guys. Watch the show on youtube.com/Sacktown Sports 1140.
Or listen on the Sacktown Sports app.
Thanks for being with us. Even the person who's trying to pretend they're Grant Afseth on the text line. Yeah, you gotta be better than that. I hope you're having fun with it. Anyway, it's the Drive Guys here. Yes. How about this, Drapes?
Yeah,
Did you see this? Isaiah Hartenstein rocking a Seattle Sonics Detlef Schrempf jersey on his way to Indiana.
I saw that.
Yeah.
How cool was that?
Detlef Schrempf says the man has class.
I did see that. An old Detlef Schrempf. Those were great Sonics teams back in the day. Kemp and those guys.
Yeah.
I was a huge Sonics fan back in the day.
I could see why.
Yeah. Big Sonics.
Yeah.
fan.
I picked them to beat the Bulls in 96. Didn't happen.
Did you?
You know, your friend of mine, Jerry Reynolds, came very close to acquiring Detlef Schrempf here. I think he was all set to go, and he was told that he couldn't do it because of financials or something. But it was a done deal.
I tell you what, Detlef was kind of ahead of his time.
Yeah,
he could play in today's era.
Yeah,
I feel like you know, a big guy could handle the rock, could shoot. He had that little slow release, you know, that just But no, Detlef, man, was the man.
He was solid.
Yes.
Yeah. Here is the story that we've been talking about today. You've probably heard it by now. A lot of Kings fans getting all worked up about this report from Grant Afseth of RG, Responsible Gambler, that the Kings spoke with the Hawks, about a Trey Young trade. Talks have stalled, and the Kings are interested in trading for Darius Garland. So a lot of people have been running with that. Grant Afseth. We've been trying to figure out what his.
He might be on his text line here.
Yeah, we've been trying to figure out what his.
I wish
are, how solid they are. Yeah, I know you said Tony Jones is.
Tony Jones following him, but it could be, and I see a lot of our local media now follows Grant Afseth.
Well, there you go.
As well. He tweets something about the Kings and Jason Anderson, Brendan Nunez. Everybody got to start. Alan Stiles follows him now, and I'm like. Come on, man.
I mean, he could be right.
All right. I'll
you would think. I would think. I'll speak for myself that if there was a lot to this, that it would have been coming from a different source.
And let me ask you
closer
this,
to home
regarding regarding the Grant Afseth follow. And I don't want to come down too hard on this guy, but
we're giving him a lot of publicity.
I know, but it's like he ain't gonna break it. Let's say he is right about this. He ain't breaking no other news anytime soon. So why follow? Like. Do you just follow him just during this news cycle here just to see? Or is he like, do I really want to see Grant Afseth's tweets on my timeline going forward?
Well, if he's right, then yes, then he clearly is well sourced. And then you want to stay locked in.
But he's like, it's like getting one right every 10 years. Like,
I don't know. Yeah.
Okay.
Quote, while Sacramento has interest in Garland, multiple league sources told the RG that the Atlanta Hawks have spoken with the Kings on a potential trade framework centered around Trey Young in recent weeks. However, those talks have since stalled. Trey Young, I think we're out on, and I think Darius Garland we're out on with the toe injury.
Yeah, with the injury situation. And what? He's going to be at 4 to 5 months or something like that, 5 to 6, something like that, Shams reported. And so, yeah, I think I'm out on both of those guys. And, the thing about Trey Young, and, like I said, I like him as a basketball player. I don't know about some of the intangibles. He's about to be 27. I'm looking at our timeline. And that's one thing we got to discuss, Kings fans. What's our timeline for really contending for a championship?
Mm-hmm.
Is it the next 5 years? Is it when Trey Young's 30, 31? You know what I mean? And so, one thing you've been saying the last month or so is you want to get younger. If you can get a 24-year-old, how old is our boy Cole Anthony, let's say? I got Cole Anthony right here. Cole Anthony is 25, just turned 25. He's got a good 10 years to go. I could be open to getting, be more willing to do Cole Anthony than, let's say, Trey Young, because I'm looking at the timeline, and I know we got Zach, and I know we got DeMar and Domas. But if we're being honest and realistic, it'll probably be the next wave of King stars that lead us to the championship. These guys will take us deep into the playoffs and everything like that, super talented. But when it comes time to win the championship, I want to position ourselves to be that next team, that next OKC, that next Denver, or somebody like that, that next Houston. Not this year, next year. What are we looking like 4 or 5 years down the line?
Yeah, I'm with you, Drapes. I'm looking at a point guard that I bring in as kind of like my Christmas cake. Christmas cake. When do you eat your Christmas cake? On the 25th, right? 25 is perfect.
Yeah.
24th, like, that's fine. 23rd, 22nd, a little early. On the other hand, you get on the 26th,
it's okay. You can still eat that.
27th, 28th.
Starting to get a little old a little bit. Yeah.
So that's kind of how I'm looking at it.
Getting kind of hard on the edges and everything.
Exactly.
Yeah, I'm with you on that.
You get enough milk, you could probably eat it, but you didn't really want to.
All right, so our point guard is Christmas cake. Okay,
yes.
I'm with you on that, man. I agree. And so now, if you do go out there and get a Trey Young or somebody like that, now you put yourself, your timeline is right now, I believe. And we've seen this in the past with the Kings. It's instead of building the foundation nice and strong, we're going for the quick fix right now. I don't know if we're in a position to do that right now.
No, and even if you put aside the pros and cons of how he plays, let's put that aside.
Yeah.
Trey Young will make $45.9 next season. He has a player option worth $48.9 for the 26-27 season.
He's not going to pick that up. He's going to look for an extension, right?
Right. He's eligible for a 4-year, $229 million extension. So teams around the league are looking at that, and they're monitoring that. That's probably what the Kings are doing. Hey, what's going on with Trey? So that's probably all there is to this.
Yeah. Are you a believer, and I just did the math, that Trey Young's at $57 million a year per player based on that extension, the 4-year, $229?
I think that's too much for him. If someone wants to pay him that, bless him. Good luck.
Right.
Hope it works out for you.
I'm with you. I'm with you. And obviously the market is going up and guys' salaries, Devin Booker reportedly signing that 2-year, $150 million extension and everything like that. But, I don't know if Trey Young can be the best player, Whitey, on a championship team.
It looked like it. I know we've talked about it. It looked like it a few years ago when he helped Atlanta get to the conference finals. But then that's where they plateaued.
Right. Exactly. And so I think with Trey, you got to surround him with another strong star. And that's what Atlanta has failed to do. I know he had the nice run a few years ago to the conference finals and everything. I get that. But, since then they've been, playing, seed and so you need, like, I always thought if he played with LeBron, that'd be perfect for him, because LeBron can handle the ball, take some of the pressure off him. But if Trey's got to be your number one, that's a lot to ask.
Yeah. Now, Darius Garland, you know how old he is? La 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 la
25, right? Your boy is 25. Yes.
But what scares me off of him is when we talked to Jerry last week, Jerry Reynolds on Friday said, I don't think he's worth what he's getting.
How much you making, Whitey? You got that right
I
there.
have to double check.
Go down there, basketball reference page.
I want to say he's in. Well, I'll just wait.
30 something. Or?
Where are you at here? Salaries. Let's see. Current contract 36.7 last year. That goes up to 39.4, 42.1, and 44.8.
Woo. At worst, he has to be your second option, right? Making that kind of money. And is he that for us? Is he a a bona fide number. And here's the thing. Why is Cleveland trying to get rid of him if he's, trying to move it off of him?
Which is, and I think you made the point, I think I've made it, that's something to consider with all these guys. Why are they available? Hey, Kings, what about this guy? Why are they available?
Right.
You got to be really careful.
Because it didn't work, right?
Yeah,
It didn't work.
Yeah.
I mean, and he's a talented player, man, but when it's time to win a championship, and let me ask you this too, real quick.
Would you rather draft your quarterback rather than get him in a trade?
Yeah, I was wondering, like, are these Trey Young, Darius Garland, are we viewing them as our guy? Like, how you got to have a guy to win? I don't know if they are.
I don't think so. You know who is our guy, though, is TC.
Uh-oh.
It is time for Check It. Check It with TC.
Check.
What's going on, TC? How are you?
What's up, Whitey Drake? What's going on, man?
TC, what's up, baby?
Hey, man, just vibing. So, look, if I heard that right, hold on, man. I'm getting a bad. It sounds better now.
There you go. All right, TC. Okay, a veteran of this.
Hey, so look, check it out. So, am I right? When you guys were talking to my boy earlier, were we talking about trading back up? And are we talking about the Kings trading up to get a first-round pick? Or are we talking about getting multiple first-round picks?
Well, now it looks
Whitey,
like
what were you saying?
Yeah, we were talking about multiple, but that report looked like a little shaky. So they're probably moving up to get a back into the first round, a pick.
Okay, so if we go in that route, trying to get 2 first-round picks, or maybe trade up into like the back half, is 3 guys I'm looking at.
All right,
and it goes in this order. The first draft pick is at Proctor, the guard from Duke.
Okay.
Australian, 6'6", nasty, shoot 45%, 40 from 3. He was a guy with Cooper Flag, right? Cooper was balling, but he was the other guy.
You might be able to
And
get
then
him
also
with your
that 6.
Yeah, he might last to your second-round pick, TC. It's possible.
That's
he'd be
what
there
I'm
for you,
saying.
too. Yeah.
And then if you want to trade up, I say you go get you go get the tall boy, because we already missed out on Zach Edey, right? So now we got Zach Edey all over again. Either go get him or go get the boy from Serbia, the 6'11" kid. They both 18, bro. They both projects, and that's what we need. If we moving like that, Perry and Doug, we good. The Monk trade, I'm sorry, Kings fans. I love Monk. This is my dog. But if we have to move on from this guy and move him to Orlando, y'all hear me out, big dog. I'm cool on the KCP. I'm going for young cats, because if we move in Monk, we got to go young. So I'm going Tristan Da Silva, Jet Howard, and then whatever contract you want to make to add that money up, and their first round pick this year, number 16, Tristan Da Silva, Jet Howard, and their number 16 pick for Malik Monk. That's the way I'm moving off on Monk. I hear you laughing, Drake.
No, because
but y'all do
TC,
the work and talk about it.
Why don't you get Franz Wagner too while you at it? Why don't you maybe get?
Listen,
come on, man.
They're not doing that. Listen. They're not doing that. And if we moving off on Monk, Drake, how crazy is that? You getting a first round pick and you getting 2 young cats and Jet
They're
Howard.
not giving us that though. That's what I'm saying, TC. They're not giving up all that.
For Monk, I mean, if they want him bad enough, Drake, you get me?
All right, that I don't know if they that desperate. That's a lot there, TC. You talking 3 rotation players, basically 2 rotation players and a first round pick for a 6-man.
They was chasing him and he chose us. If they want that shooting bag to go with Pablo, they ready to give it up. They might not even have to give us all that, right? I'm cool with just the players. But if they ready to do that, if y'all want Monk that bad and y'all want to do business, this is what we need, big homie. That's all I got.
All right, thank you, TC.
All right, TC.
Tristan Da Silva was one of my guys coming out of the draft last year.
Right.
By the way, the players TC was talking about, he was talking about Hanson Yang,
and
the
then
7'1" center from China,
and
Marjanovic
or whatever.
Bogoljub Markovic.
Yeah, Markovic.
Just they call him Bogey. 6'11". Yeah, so there you go.
Okay,
you could do worse than Hanson Yang.
So what you're telling me is I got to start looking at second round picks. I got to start doing my research on these guys.
Yes.
Damn.
Yeah, but at the same time, just you can allow yourself to hope for a move back into the first round.
Moving on up like the Jeffersons, baby.
Yeah.
That's how I can see us
for the
happening.
second round, but hoping for the first.
Drake, so let me give you a little college skim through experience. Just wait till they make the draft pick and then go do your research.
All right.
Especially we talk about a second round
here,
man.
man. I know.
We're back with 10 teams to watch this offseason in the NBA, from Bobby Marks to the Kings. Make the list. We'll find out next. Sacktown Sports.
Wesley Financial Group is not a law firm.
Chuck McDowell here again. Over the years, I've seen way too many timeshare exit companies pop up, take folks' money, and disappear. I just saw an ad from an exit company started by a couple of bozos that used to work for me. My advice, don't hire bozos out fire. Want out of your timeshare? I'll send you our free timeshare exit info kit explaining your options for cancellation.
Call Wesley for your free kit. 800-329-3737. That's 800-329-3737.
Pro Paint Days are back at Lowe's, and My Lowe's Pro Rewards members can save even more with limited time deals. Right now, buy one, get one half off. Select HGTV Home by Sherwin-Williams Primer and Ceiling Paint. Plus, get free same-day delivery to your job site when you order by 2 p.m. Offer valid through 6/13. Delivery by 8 p.m. Subject to driver availability. Additional terms apply. See Lowe's.com/same-day delivery for details.
Hot summer savings explode at Maida's Elk Grove Chevy. Save $12,000 off MSRP after rebates. Every new 2025 Silverado half-ton LT and RST in stock.
Maida Chevy has similar savings on every new Silverado. One of the largest selections in the Sacramento area.
$12,000 off new Silverado exclusively at the Maida Chevy Silverado Supercenter. Now that's big, huge. See them all at MaidaChevy.com. Together, let's drive.
West rating 2011 renewed. Not available with special financing, lease, and some other offers.
Live and local, 6 a.m. to 6 p.m., Monday through Friday. Sacktown Sports.
Medical alert. Jay's Giants have been playing really well lately. They're back in action tonight against the Rockies, and they're set up nicely here because the Giants have won 5 in a row. And they slid into second place last night because San Diego lost to the Dodgers. So Giants got the Rockies in this series at the same time the Dodgers are playing the Padres. So if you take care of business against the Rockies, you're going to gain on somebody.
All right.
However, Matt Chapman placed on the 10-day injured list Tuesday, and this is what I want to ask you guys about. I've never heard of an injury framed this way, and hopefully he's fine. He's on the injured list with inflammation in his right hand. A baseball player with inflammation.
Who was that, Chapman, you said?
Yes. And I have a picture of him. I think he injured himself, was it Wednesday? Over the weekend when they were playing the Braves. Pardon me. See that picture right there? And that's as he's like,
he's gnashing his hand.
Yeah. But he's on the injured list with inflammation in his right hand. That could mean a lot of things. I've never heard that before for certainly a baseball player.
Did he hurt it somehow, or like banged it on something and it swelled up on him, or I don't know. That's interesting.
Mm-hmm. So I wonder if there's some kind of tendonitis or something going on there. I don't know. So you haven't heard that either.
I haven't heard that.
All right.
I haven't heard that.
Wishing him
inflammation
the
in the hand.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he's having a fine year, especially defensively. Yeah. So all the best to Mr. Matt Chapman. Here we have from Bobby Marks, NBA. Off season 2025. 10 teams to watch this summer.
I have not seen this, Whitey. Should I pull it up?
Are the Kings on this list? Kings are not. Okay, they're not.
Oh, shit. Come on, man.
But maybe there's something here the Kings can poach from the other teams. Number one, and it's not really in any order, but the first team he has listed is Boston. What's going to happen they're going to have to move on from something, aren't they?
Yeah. The from what I'm hearing, just listening to people in Boston talk, the Jaylen Brown situation is real. You're talking about a guy that's, making close to $60 million as a second option.
Mm-hmm.
It's, is Jaylen Brown, and I'm a huge JB fan, is Jaylen Brown worth $300 million?
They are feeling the bite of this new CBA because they've got a projected payroll of $500 million. So they're $23 million over the second apron. And things get very restrictive when you're well into the second apron. So unless the Nets are willing to take on Porzingis and $30.7 million there, there's no direct path to getting under the apron with one trade. So it may take a number of moves. I know that's a lot of mumbo jumbo about, numbers and salaries, but shedding salary will likely happen in multiple moves for them from the Celtics, according to Bobby Marks.
Well, let's talk about the Celtics. Obviously, Tatum's not going to be back till midseason at the earliest. Jrue Holiday and Kristaps Porzingis. Let's start with Jrue. Champion, two-time champ. We understand that. But to me, he's expendable. You got your boy Peyton Pritchard waiting for a bigger role. And Porzingis, Celtics won the title in spite of him because he didn't really contribute during the regular season. So those two are the two expendable guys. But you have to wonder, if you're Boston, are they looking to sort of punt this upcoming season with Tatum out? And I don't want to say, do you bottom out or anything like that, but do you sell high on some of your assets to, maybe get a lottery pick, if you will, to pair with Tatum in 2 years when they come back?
And these new restrictions are no joke. For example, the Celtics 2033 first-round pick, if they finish next year over the second apron, that pick becomes frozen.
Damn.
And their 2032 pick is already frozen.
Wow.
Man.
Yeah.
The NBA does not want you spending a lot of money on your team.
Right. They're trying to spread it out. Like having $200-300 million guys. You can't have much more, and if you're the Celtics, and they got a new owner too, let's not forget that. New owner might want to shed some salary as well. From a Kings standpoint, Whitey, and we had this conversation last week, if you acquire a Trey Young, or if you acquire some of these big names, or if you go into the tax, does it make sense for you if it's not putting you over the top? Like, probably why go over the tax to be the 7 seed? It just doesn't, And so I think, if I'm running the Kings, I'm being very smart financially about my money. I'm not looking to get into the apron or anything. It's too punitive. We just see it with the Celtics until it's time to win a championship. Now, if we're a 2 seed or a 3 seed in the West and we feel like we're contenders, best believe I'm going for it. Hey, price of doing business. But right now, it doesn't make sense.
Yeah, that's the beauty of the two teams that are in the finals now, the way they're constructed. They have no concerns over the tax, the aprons, because they're put together so much young talent. Yeah. Brooklyn Nets are on the list.
All right, let's see what Brooklyn talking about.
Brooklyn Nets have 2 things no other team has this offseason: 4 first-round picks in June and more than $40 million in cap space.
They could do some things. They could do some things. 4 first-round picks and $40 million in cap space.
Now, a lot of people think that they've been trying to stock assets so they could make a run at Giannis, but the report today is that nothing to see here. Giannis is not asked out. So whether you're the Nets and you have all this to offer, or you're any team, Giannis ain't available, at least not now, Trey. That could change. That could change. But as of right now, you can't get him because he's not on the market.
He's not on the market. Well, the problem with Brooklyn, Whitey, is if you're a free agent or a Giannis type, why would you entertain Brooklyn? Because they don't have pieces that you could pair yourself with. They're so far away. Like, this ain't KD, Kyrie, and James Harden saying we're going, that's the only way it would work. And, $40 million in cap space, that's one max, not even a max guy, really. And so if I'm Brooklyn, I'm building it the slow way. You got your draft picks. You got all that draft capital.
Yeah.
Build it organically.
Learn from what these teams are doing now.
Right. Exactly. Exactly.
Denver Nuggets. Jokic said last month, we definitely need to figure out a way to get more depth. It seems like the teams that have longer rotations, the longer benches, are the ones who are winning. Indiana, OKC, Minnesota. Now, he's not the GM, but that has been an issue for them since they won the championship. They've tried to get the most bang for their buck they can with guys like Christian Brown, for example.
Yeah.
Nathan Watson.
And they've done a hell of a job with Christian Brown. He's a bona fide NBA player. He's done a hell of a job. I'm looking at this Bobby Marks piece, and they got a lot of young players. But even a guy like Peyton Watson, who I'm a fan of, he's been inconsistent. And really the only carrot they have to dangle is Michael Porter Jr. And, Porter talks about, Bobby Marks says, he's owed $38 million and $40 million in the next 2 seasons. I don't think anybody's taking on those contracts, and Porter Jr. is a nice player, but 38 and 40, that's paying him like a number 2 option.
Right.
You know what I mean? And he's not that. He's a glorified role player, I think. And so if I'm Sacramento, I'm staying away from that.
Bobby Marks points out one of their options there in Denver is to develop former picks. We were just talking about some of them: Jalen Pickett, Peyton Watson, Strother, Hunter Tyson, and Deron Holmes, who was injured last year, into consistent rotational players. So they have some young players there, but it's kind of like the 49ers defense. They're going to need those young players to assume
actually
major roles. Golden State Warriors. What?
Yeah. Oh, look at this. I'm looking at the first write-up here. Golden State General Manager Dunleavy has the draft assets to go all in.
Uh-oh.
They got all those at draft. I thought they didn't give up any to Miami. What the hell?
The Warriors are allowed to trade up to 4 first-round picks starting the night of the draft, 26, 28, 2030, if 1 to 20 and 2032. They have the right to swap first in the next 7 years if their 2030 pick is in the top 20. Yeah, but their core is so old.
Yeah.
And it ain't getting any younger.
It's not.
I know all about that.
and Marks makes a good point. The issue will be whether the Warriors can put together a salary package that is substantial enough for a trade without including Draymond or Jimmy Butler, because those 2 guys are part of your core with Steph Curry. And so outside of that, they don't have any other player assets that I would be interested in if I was a team. Pajemski, Trace Jackson, like they don't have any young. Moody, does Moody have any value? Doesn't seem like it. So yeah, what kind of trade value package could they do? Kuminga sign and trade?
That's going to be key. Are you interested at all in Kuminga? He's my Jeremy Grant. Remember last year, Jeremy Grant? I hate him, love him, hate him, love him. Kuminga, I'm starting to warm up to.
What?
I'm starting to. I'll tell you why when we come back. I'm warming up to Kuminga.
Getting desperate over here, son.
Right? I think you're right. Next Drive Guy, Sacktown Sports.
Hey everyone, it's Kyle Draper here. If you're in the market for a new car, let me tell you about my experience with Mercedes-Benz of Stockton. From the moment I walked into their state-of-the-art showroom, I knew I was making the right choice. There was no pressure from the sales staff, and if I'm being honest, I felt like a kid in a candy store. I settled on the all-electric EQS SUV, and let me tell you why. First of all, the comfort. After a long day at work, I actually look forward to being in my car. It has several different massage settings, including my favorite, hot relaxing back. Plus, the seat heating and cooling features are perfect for the hot summer or those chilly mornings. Mercedes-Benz has the reputation of making the finest cars in the world. Now it's your turn to experience what I already know. Mercedes-Benz of Stockton is the best car buying experience you'll ever have. They're just a short drive down I-5, or you can shop online anytime at mbofstockton.com. That's mbofstockton.com, and tell them Drape sent you.
This is Secret Clinical Dominating Extra Stinky Stress Sweat. And this is regular deodorant. Secret Clinical in a heat wave. Oh, what a beautiful day. This is regular deodorant. Ugh, I can't. Secret Clinical with workout sweat. Let's run another marathon. And regular deodorant. How much more? Secret is the GOAT, because nothing fights sweat better. Stay fresher under pressure.
Keeping your engines healthy means protecting them in season and out. Experts trust Stable to do that, and third-party testing confirms it. Stable is the industry leader in preventing fuel-related issues, no matter if you use it in your car, boat, or outdoor power equipment. In season or out, at every fill-up or when you store, start with Stable.
Whitey here for Napoleon Grills, reminding you that when buying a new grill, every detail matters. While supplies last, you'll receive a $149 gift with purchase on every new Napoleon Prestige stainless steel grill. The kit even includes a pizza lover starter kit and much more. And now up to $79 off Napoleon Rogue models. Napoleon grills are built different, built better, built to last, with a lifetime warranty and premium steel that boasts amazing quality. Visit Green Acres Nursery today for your best selection of Napoleon grills and accessories.
I'm Ken Korak with your Green and Gold Report, brought to you by Comcast Business, powering possibilities. Well, looking for something positive in the midst of a dismal stretch for the A's, center fielder Denzel Clarke, finishing his second weekend in the big leagues and playing in his hometown of Toronto, went 4 for 9 with a home run in the last 3 games of the series, and also made a sensational Spider-Man leaping catch over the wall in center field, robbing Alejandro Kirk of a home run. Comcast Business helps turn today's small businesses into engines of modern business. It's how restaurants become reliably up and running neighborhood favorites. It's how retailers become seamlessly restocking, cyber-securing must-visit shops. And it's how healthcare offices become data-managing caregivers that we all depend on. With reliable connectivity, enhanced cybersecurity, advanced fiber solutions, and Wi-Fi backup, Comcast Business is powering the engine of modern business.
Your afternoon home for Kings talk and so much more. The Drive Guys on Sacktown Sports.
We are pouring over a list of the teams you need to keep an eye on this NBA offseason before we dive back into that. Drapes, how much did you pay last night at the post-tournament auction for the autographed Taylor Swift guitar?
I did not get that.
What?
But my guy is going to take care of me.
Vaughn?
Yeah, Vaughn's going to take care of me. I mean, I'm going to have to pay for it, but somebody else bid on that Taylor Swift signed guitar.
Uh-huh.
And I was doing the show, and so I couldn't get it. But he said, Drapes, I got another one for you.
Okay.
So he's going to hook your boy out the Drapes discount.
Now, it was the Taylor Swift autographed acoustic guitar, and then it was mounted on a jersey, like a Kelsey jersey that had her name on it.
Yeah.
You know, she's from Pennsylvania. I was thinking, man, if that had if it was an Eagles jersey.
Eagles Kelsey jersey, that'd be sweet. Is that
that
right? I will say this now that I think about it, and I know Levon, he's a friend of the show. He's always listening.
Yeah.
I know how much the winning bid was yesterday at the auction. You know the Drapes rate is 50%. And so hopefully he's listening here. I need 50% off of what the high bid was yesterday. Only right. Only fair, right?
I don't know.
Right.
I mean, he doesn't.
That's
have
my
to do
going
anything
rate.
for it.
That's my going rate.
Yeah, okay, yeah.
50% off. You know, and so he offered me. It was not 50% off the price he quoted me, but now that I thought about it, think about it here. Yeah, I need the 50% off. Because if not, it's just going to sit. He ain't going to sell it. You know, it's going to sit.
Do you know I think it's a 101. There's a Mike Trout baseball card, and it has a card, and I think it's his autograph, and it has the knob of a bat, you know, that they saw off and they put on the card. And on the knob of the bat, he writes the score of the Eagles Super Bowl win. He has that on there because he's a big.
Just now, like this is recently, huh?
Yeah.
Damn,
I think it's 1 of 1. I don't even know.
That would be really.
Yeah,
I gotta look this up. That'd be sweet to get a hold of. 1 of 1 Mike Trout. What is it again?
It's bat knob card. Yeah.
They have those?
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Wow.
They shave off pieces of the bat.
Okay. All right.
Now, there may be more than one. I think there's just one of those, but I thought of you, but then it's like, that's tough to get the 101s.
101. Yeah, that's big money, right? That's even outside of my pay grade there. So, okay. All right. I would love to have something like that. I do see a 1 of 1, but no, I was actually over at Emmer's store today, big fella. Yeah, I was over there because Nick's out there working right now, you know, earning some cold hard cash. And they got a signed frame Shaq jersey. I thought about it. Pretty good price. And they got a Luka one, Luka Dallas one.
Oh,
yeah. They're pretty good prices out there.
Yeah, the one jersey, if I may speak for Jay, that really caught his eye yesterday. There's a lot of Giant stuff out there that he didn't really
Willie
engage
Mays.
him. No,
Oh, no.
Bo Jackson.
Oh yeah. Jay, you ain't bid on that?
Nah, because I don't think it was biddable. I believe somebody had already kind of copped that kind of same thing situation. It was kind of tucked on the side and it was in a box. Then he brought it out, but I didn't see no bid paper next to it. I think it was just the show. I was like, oh, okay. You got to have a Bo Jackson in your collection, don't you?
That's pretty sweet.
I was an Auburn would go further, but as much as it's a Raider, it's still Bo Jackson.
Let me ask you guys this though. I want to stay on this for a second. They had a live auction the day before at the party. There's a party the day before that night. And usually when I go to these things, I bid on some things. I usually try and come away with something. But then I was looking at it. And shout out to the Drive for Impact crew, our boy Ken Burns. Shout out to him for coming on yesterday.
Yes.
For these events, they bring in celebrities, fly them in, put them up. Got the hotel, the transportation, and everything like that.
Mm-hmm.
All right, that's that. Okay. You found it that quickly. The Mike Trout 1-for-1.
Yeah.
That's pretty sweet.
Oh, this is a Fly Eagles Fly one. I think there's another one where he has a score. Yeah.
But as a celebrity out there, because they invited me, is it proper for me to be bidding on things?
Yes.
That's
like I was the only one doing it though. Oh, I need that, Whitey.
That's the Mike Trout autograph.
Father's
Eagles
Day coming
40,
up.
Chiefs 22. Fly
I'll help
Eagles
your
Fly.
boy out. But I was the only one bidding.
But it's a benefit. So you're
charity, man.
Yeah,
Foundation.
but these other celebrities, they got alligator arms out there. They not they ain't pulling out their credit cards or wallets or anything like that.
Normally it happens. Like all the auctions I've been to, celebrities bid. So just not this one.
Yeah, just not this one. I will say I was at another one down in Palm Springs, and there were some big time bids, like $25,000.
Ooh.
No celebrities did bid on that.
Can you say what for?
What they bid on?
Yeah.
Golf with Kyle Draper?
No, artwork.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, like artwork, painting.
They're in the right place for that.
Yeah,
Palm
exactly.
Springs.
Yeah. So your boy Cedric the Entertainer and them, Alonzo Mourning, $25,000. I'm like,
yeah.
But
what's a $5,000 piece?
Right. Your boy bid on something yesterday, and I got it, or 2 days ago. My boy Adrian Blanco, shout out to him, Adrian Blanco Jewelers. That's who I golf with. $1,000 jewelry shopping spree.
Ooh.
And tequila tasting at his private bar. He has a tequila company also. So your boy bid on that and got that.
Mm-hmm.
So
that's dope.
Jim Irsay, rest in peace.
Yeah, shout out to him.
A few years ago, he had a traveling exhibit of all the stuff he's collected, like guitars, memorabilia, and actually went on tour. People would come to see all the things he had.
Okay.
So if Kyle Draper had that with the stuff you have now, what would we see in the Kyle Draper Museum? Personal artifacts, just memorabilia. What's like
I'm proud of my Allen Iverson autograph, my obviously Steph Curry autographs. I don't know. I got a lot of autographed jerseys. Probably like 20 of them.
Mm-hmm.
But I need them framed. And this is where I got to talk to Emran because he's running a special right now.
Yes, he
framed
is for
jerseys.
Father's Day.
Right.
Yeah.
And
What's the special?
Normally it's $350, I think it is, but he's offering it for $250 to get a frame, and they do it right.
And what's half of $250?
That's what I was trying. That's what I was gonna. I'm gonna text him right now,
Drapes
man.
going drapes, bro.
Seriously, I am going to text him right this moment because that's what I was thinking. I'm like, if he's running 50% off,
of course,
it's 120. Like if he's running 250, like I got to get 50%.
You trying to get 3 for the price of 1?
Right?
Yeah,
dude, that adds up quickly. It adds up, and I don't even have anything they're not displayed around my house. They're just sitting right now. So,
if you could have any piece of sports memorabilia from any period of time, maybe it doesn't even exist. We don't even know where it is. But one thing that you could have, what would you pick? I think I would want the Wilt Chamberlain ball.
Ooh,
100
right.
points. And I don't even know if someone has that or.
How about Jackie Robinson? 715? Yeah.
Well, wait.
Talking about Hank Aaron?
Or Hank Aaron, I mean. Yeah, sorry about that.
Yeah.
Hank Aaron, yeah. 715?
Jackie Robinson.
Anything Jackie too. Like anything Jackie.
Or something from
jerseys.
His first game. Yeah.
Yep. Yeah, I would do that. Anything Barry Bonds or anything like that? The new record or anything?
Not for me,
like
thanks.
That? Okay.
If you have something like that, good for you.
Right. Yeah. How about
anything for you, Jay? Anything.
Yeah, the few that come to my mind are something from Jackie Robinson, like his first bat, maybe minor league bat, he played Montreal, something of that nature. The other thing is Negro League, like something from Satchel Paige, Cool Papa Bell, something of that nature too. If you could get one of those gloves or a bat or a jersey autographed Satchel Paige, autographed Josh Gibson, any of those guys.
Yeah.
I love something like that.
Yeah.
I was thinking something. I'm a big boxing guy too, like a Muhammad Ali glove, Thrilla in Manila, or when he beat Sonny Liston or something like that.
I have to really sit down and think about it because I know I'm missing some stuff.
Mine might be Sim Bhullar when he made the shot to become the first player of Indian descent to ever make a.
I was about to say
that happened here. That was a Kings thing a few years ago.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, did they stop the game?
I don't think they stopped. The game.
Okay.
You ain't put a text in somebody to get that, Pete Youngman or somebody to get that ball.
Somebody has it. Hopefully, Sim Bhullar has it. But you're right. Anything from Hank Aaron would be great.
Yeah.
And Jackie Robinson.
Robinson.
That's not just baseball memorabilia. That's American freaking history.
Babe Ruth. Anything from Babe?
Maybe.
Yeah.
And maybe one of those balls that Mickey Mantle hit 745.
right. I got my boy Emran to respond.
Here we go.
He's hilarious. I said, what's the Drapes Father's Day special on jersey framing? ? I know it's $250 for general population.
Yeah.
So he says, how about this? We have you do it for yourself for $200. I'll give you the key to the warehouse. Just lock up behind you. I see how it is, man. Hey, I'm going to get Nick to work it off. Get him to work it off.
209 says the Ricky Henderson base he raised when he broke the
I like that.
That's
okay.
nice.
That's a good one. Nothing basketball other than Will, huh? LeBron's breaking Kareem's record, boy.
Didn't the flu game shoes not too long ago sell for some huge amount?
Michael
Jordan's flu game shoes.
Okay. All right. Yeah, I don't know what else.
It's got to be something off the beaten path.
Right.
Because you look around, and I'm pretty sure, now it might cost you a little bit, but I'm pretty sure you can find Muhammad Ali gloves.
Uh-huh.
I know a couple guys who have a pair.
Oh, I got one. The shoes Jesse Owens wore in 1936.
That's what I'm talking about. You got to get a little deeper.
Right. Just give me one. Yeah.
Right.
Can you imagine the talker? The stories you could tell about that.
Man. Yeah. 339-1140, 1-800-920-1140. One piece of sports memorabilia from all time. You could have it. Which one would you choose? Back with that and an ongoing look at the teams to keep an eye on this offseason in the NBA with the Drive guys. Be right back.
People are coming from all over to Sacramento Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram, from Folsom, Elk Grove, Woodland, Roseville, because they've seen for themselves the huge selection and the best prices at SacSuperstore.com. Good luck finding a lower price anywhere else. And if you do, they'll match it. It's as simple as that. Sacramento Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram, where a handshake still means something. Open until 10 o'clock and centrally located right across from Hagen Oaks Golf Course. And online at SacSuperstore.com. The guaranteed lowest price and the best selection of Dodge, Chrysler, Jeeps, and Rams. SacSuperstore.com.
What does a dog do that a man steps in? Pants, which is what we do when it gets really hot. We're all panting. The hot weather is here. Let Lee's Air Plumbing and Heating make sure your system can handle it. Get to Lee's Air Plumbing and Heating.com. Check out their $99 HVAC tune-up special. Let me tell you why Lee's Air Plumbing and Heating is the way to go. They offer 100% satisfaction guarantee. They get 4.8 stars on Google. They've won awards for their service. They came to our house, did an incredible job. They spend more than 40 years serving the Valley's HVAC, heating, and plumbing needs. You can trust Lee's as we trusted Lee's with installation and repair of your AC, furnace, water heater, plus residential and commercial plumbing repair, and commercial HVAC services too. You can find out more at leesair.com. Check out their mission statement. It's all about serving customers and community. Check on their $99 HVAC tune-up service. Let Lee's take care of you the way they took care of me. When that air conditioner comes on now, we get that blast of cold air. It's heaven. They treated us like family. They set us up with an HVAC system that has improved our quality of life. Lee's Air, Plumbing, and Heating, license number 6353555.
Progressive knows road trips without your pet can be tough.
Hi, this is Next Stop Dog Boarding.
Hi, it's Scott again. How's Squeaks doing? You can tell if he's stressed by his eyebrows. Oh, and his breathing should sound like this.
Scott, Squeaks is exactly the same as last time you called.
Okay, let's talk in 20 to see if anything's changed.
With Progressive, your pet is covered up to $1,000 in vet bills in case of a car accident. So next time, you can take your pet with you. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates, not available in all states. Coverage for dogs and cats is included with the purchase of collision coverage and subject to policy terms.
This is Secret Clinical dominating extra stinky stress sweat. And this is regular deodorant. Secret Clinical in a heat wave. Oh, what a beautiful day. This is regular deodorant. Ugh, I can't. Secret Clinical with workout sweat. Let's run another marathon. And regular deodorant. How much more? Secret is the GOAT because nothing fights sweat better. Stay fresher under pressure.
Visit SacktownSports.com and join the Sacktown Sports 1140 newsletter.
Capital Casino, conveniently located on 411th North 16th Street in downtown Sacramento.
The only station in Sacramento giving you local sports coverage from 6 a.m. to 6 p.m. Monday through Friday. Sacktown Sports.
Once again, shout out to Denzel Clarke, who had one of the most amazing catches we've ever seen, which is really saying something because this is his third just mind-bending catch in, well, it's his second in the last, 5 days. It's his third in 16 games, which is hard to imagine. Jay, any one of his 3 catches would be, for most guys, greatest catch of my career. And he's had 3 of them already this year.
In a span of a couple weeks, feel like, but literally a week and a half.
Yeah,
he's a baller defensively. Mm-hmm. We're gonna see what he can do, what his all-around game, but spectacular plays, and all we can do is sit back and admire him and show him some love.
I think in some ways, well, to me, the catch Friday where he ran into the wall was in some ways more impressive than last night. He just flat out went into the gap and he backhanded the ball, and then he just smacked into the wall. Luckily, he didn't hit any of the supports behind the wall, and he was okay. It looked like he jammed his shoulder. I mean, that was just a go-get and make a nice catch. That said, the one last night, I've just never seen a catch quite like it, where a guy goes up there and perches on the wall. Yeah, and it just the way he was rolling over and positioned, I've never seen a catch quite like that.
Yeah, it looked unorthodox.
Yeah,
it didn't look natural, so to say, and just the way his left arm was completely turned, inside out, so to say, and to catch the ball, to see a ball, time the jump, then reach over and turn your hand backwards to go grab it.
He's always backhanded.
Right.
He's the backhanded bandit.
Man, that's a lot. That's a lot. Denzel balling, young gun. One thing about the A's, we consistently talk about the A's and the play this year, but I've always said it comes in waves when it comes to the A's. You'll get 4 or 5 years, they're terrible. And then 4 or 5 years, they're right. They're in the thick of things. And when I say the thick of things, of course, they make the playoffs. Just can't get any further than that. But 4 or 5 years, it comes in waves. It's patterns. There's seasons for the A's. So we'll see.
Yep. What a catch, Drapes. Unbelievable. We should get that audio. I know it. Jenny Kavner and Dallas Braden.
All right, listen.
No
quick.
comment. No comment.
Get real
I'm signing off, Jay. I'm signing off.
I mean, shouts out to Dallas Braden. I thought Dallas Braden had a great reaction to it. Shouts out to Dallas Braden.
There were a number of people on social media who thought the catch was better than the call.
Yes. I thought Dallas Braden reacted as a baseball player and as a fan.
Yeah.
And I thought Dallas Braden brought some excitement to the table. Shouts out to Dallas. You good, Mr. Draper?
We done? We moving on yet?
You good? Okay.
I'm not touching this one with a 10-foot pole. I saw all the comments, and I know what everybody's talking about, but I have nothing to offer on this conversation.
We were just talking about Emron and Emron's store. Here we have a message from somebody. 916 says, my grandson loves collecting. We decided to grab a handful of my old basketball cards and take them somewhere to get them appraised. Went to True Sports Cards. I guess I had an old Kobe card worth quite a bit of money. The owner wanted to buy it from me. I didn't realize he was a friend of the show and on the radio. Nice guy. He treated my grandson really well.
Okay.
That's nice. I mean, we know him as friend of the show. We know him. Is he friend of the show?
Yeah. I mean, he got his own show that he does with you.
That's
so.
right. That's right. Yeah. They really do a very nice job.
They give them
They
fair
treat people
prices,
really
right?
well.
Yeah. Good prices out there.
Somebody wants the it says Scott Bartman. It's Steve Bartman, right? The Steve Bartman baseball.
Scott Bartman, Steve Bartman. Oh,
the Scott Bartman
yeah,
baseball
Steve
we could
Bartman.
probably get for you. It's not worth much. Who's Scott
Bartman? Got one of those in my garage right now for you if you want it.
As a Chargers fan, I'd love the ball from LaDainian Tomlinson's 28th rushing touchdown in 2006. It's kind of a niche deal.
Yeah, that's a little niche.
339-1140, 1-800-920-1140. Dan joins us on Saturday Sports.
Man.
Dan, how are you?
What's up, Whitey?
Hey.
Hey, you would appreciate this one since you're a baseball buff way back. So I got a autographed bat from Pee Wee Reese with my name engraved in it.
Pee Wee Reese from what,
1940
something?
Yeah, so here's the backstory. So when the Dodgers and the A's were playing the World Series in '74, my mom and dad went to the World Series, and my dad was, outside tailgating after the game, and he seen this motorhome with Joe Rudy and a few other guys after the game, and so he sees this little guy walking by to the motorhome, and he walks up to him. He says, "You're Pee Wee Reese, right?" He says, "Yeah, how'd you know?" He says, "You were one of my favorite players when you guys were in Brooklyn." He said, "Ain't that right?" So long story short, they started talking. Pee Wee Reese used to work for Adirondack Bat Company. And he says, "Hey, I'd like to see if you can get me 2 bats for my sons." And so yeah, give me their names. My dad didn't think anything of it.
Right.
3 weeks later, he gets a big package in the mail. And it has his autograph with both me and my brother's names engraved on each bat.
I'll give you $20 for the both of them right now. No questions asked. Going once.
Yeah.
All right.
Dan. Yeah. So.
Yeah, that's nice.
Something that. Yeah.
That's
so
hard to get.
Just thought I'd share that.
Yeah, I appreciate that. Those are the things. Yeah, you can't just go grab those drapes. It's funny how the older guys, the guys played a long time ago, they really appreciated if someone recognizes them. My mother is no longer with us. She had a favorite golfer by the name of Billy Casper. He's no longer with us either. A few years ago, 15 years ago, whatever it was, Billy Casper was opening a golf course in Roseville. And so we went up there as a media deal, and he's sitting there, and I said, "Oh, you were my mom's favorite golfer. Could you sign something for me?" And he was just so appreciative.
And
he's like, "Really?" It's like, "Yeah, my mom,
yeah."
Because a lot of people now, for the older guys, it's like, unless you're an announcer on TV, people don't remember the older guys.
Right. Would you say golf is the hardest sport or the least glamorous sports memorabilia sport? Like, what do you get?
So.
Is it a golf ball, a glove, a flag?
Yeah.
Like, it doesn't.
Yeah.
Scorecard. That's not, hockey, give me a stick or something like that. Baseball, a bat, football, jersey or the ball or something like that.
What are you getting from NASCAR?
Oh, that's a good one, Jay.
An oil spot.
A little suit
helmet.
helmet, I guess.
The key ring.
Yeah, right.
I think I told
that's good.
I think I told this to Whitey yesterday, Drapes, and I'll run it by you real quick. Yesterday's event to me is always tricky, fellas, because we have guys, and I told Whitey, like Tommy Frazier.
Yeah.
Couldn't stand Nebraska, hated him with a passion.
Right.
But Tommy Frazier, for who he was, just looked completely different in the Nebraska Cornhusker uniform.
Yeah.
And so, to me, blood clot situation, couldn't perform in the NFL. Those guys are people that I'm like, man, when's the next time, God willing, I'm going to be able to talk or see to Tommy Frazier? Now, I was blessed to get his phone number. Hopefully, we'll get him on the show. But beyond that, I feel kind of uncomfortable because it's kind of like, man, I could have went to our friend's Emran's shop, probably grabbed something Tommy Frazier, had Tommy sign it. I'm like, is he really there for the sign?
Right.
You know, I don't want to be that guy, but there are instances where, you know, Marcus Dupree. I would have loved Marcus Dupree that's a very interesting.
Too, I think.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was
like what's the protocol? How do you go about that? Like Drapes, I saw you know, kind of hollering at people and moving around, shaking and moving, and that's what you do. Did you holler at anybody like, you know what, man, got nothing but love for you? Can I get a ball or something down there? Like you didn't. See?
Because, you know, it's like, I'm not patting myself, but they were just excited to talk to me too, though. Like, Daryl Pollard. Hit me up. Yo, anytime you need me on, you know, I really appreciate, like, they were happy that we were there and we're talking, like Whitey said, we were talking to them. And so it just didn't feel like those are our guys now. You know what I mean? So it's, you know, there will be someday, like you said, Marcus Dupree, I probably would have, you know, OP, Olden Polonies. That's our guy just to have,
right?
You know, but, you know, I didn't feel like it was the moment. You know, I didn't even take pictures really with those guys or anything because I was in the moment. Here's the thing with those guys. A lot of those guys are on the circuit too.
Yes.
They doing a lot of tournaments.
Golf tournaments.
Yeah. I've noticed that. You know, they know, I saw you last month at what's his name and everything like that. That's what a lot of these retired players are doing now.
From the 916, Masters gear is the greatest memorabilia in golf.
Hell no.
Come on, Jay.
Nah.
Is it in golf?
In golf.
Not even in golf.
I will say I did apply for Masters tickets this year.
Man, don't waste your money.
Well, you know, you put in for the lottery for next year, so we'll see.
Yeah.
Eat some nasty sandwiches.
What is that? Egg and pimento sandwich.
Yeah.
And take your phone, Drapes. Don't let them take your phone.
No, come on. They're going to kick me out of there,
man,
bro.
forget it. No, man, just blasphemy.
Would you go with me? I put in for 2. Would you go? Just to say.
No,
really?
Oh, I know what Jay's talking
I
about.
definitely would mess with the Masters. Yeah. The Masters is one of the events that is so overrated that it's incredible how much non-flack they catch. You know, it's we just overlook everything that the Masters is about. But when you talk about golf and you talk about, you know, the history and so much, and you hear about, oh, this is the greatest thing. Nah, man. Let's break it down. Let's get real.
We had this conversation before,
right?
Part of the reason I want to go,
sure,
is to say we up in here.
We in here.
We in here now.
We couldn't get in here for a long time.
A lot of people want to give me the side eye.
Right.
Want to give us the look. So what? Now what? You know what I mean?
That's why I say take your phone.
Right. No, you can't do that.
Come on, man. If you're gonna go all out, go all out,
like,
baby.
That's like going to a comedian show and they tell you to leave. Nah, Dave Chappelle, I'm taking my phone. What? I mean, you know, you just.
Nah, that's not to say.
You guys think Whitey could get in?
You
probably moved to the front of the line. Don't even put your real name.
Put that in there. You know what? Push him up to the front.
Board of directors.
You don't even have to apply.
Conspiracy theory, man. Be frozen envelope.
NBA teams to keep an eye on our next Drive Guy Sacktown Sports.
This is the story of the one. As a safety manager at a manufacturing plant, he does everything he can to keep his coworkers safe. From finding ways to reduce risks to keeping safety supplies in stock. And for that, he relies on Grainger. Grainger offers a broad range of quality products and next-day delivery, so he can always play it safe. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
How can you free your team from time-consuming office tasks? Amazon Business. Smart business buying tools enable buyers to find and purchase items fast so they can focus on strategy and growth. Free up your teams and focus on your future. Learn more at AmazonBusiness.com.
Check engine or ABS light on? Take the guesswork out of your warning lights with O'Reilly Veriscan. It's free. Ask for O'Reilly Veriscan.
O'Reilly Auto Parts. When might you be buzzed? When you suddenly love everything.
You guys, I love this song. I love these nachos. I love our kickball league. Oh, I love this guy. What's your name? You know what I'd love? A ride when it's time to head out.
If you see a buzzed warning sign, call for a ride when it's time to go home. Buzz driving is drunk driving. A message from NHTSA and the Ad Council.
I love your car. Is this real leather?
Finally, an easy way to find home improvement contractors. Just visit subcontractorsunited.com and simplify your search for home services professionals. From cabinets to windows, roofing to plumbing, Subcontractors United is an easy, simple way to find and hire a home improvement contractor. And you never have to give up personal information. So no harassing phone calls like you get from those other websites. Subcontractorsunited.com is sponsored by D&D Cabinets and Savage Design.
Get ready for a night out with Jordan Davis. It's Country in the Park 2, Saturday, September 13th at Cal Expo. Along with the special guests Mitchell Tenpenny, Low Cash, Vincent Mason, and Abriana. Make it a family day out with food trucks, games, dancing, and more. Saturday, September 13th at Cal Expo with Michelob Ultra. Tickets are available now at CITPFest.com.
Golf to Go is brought to you by the Hagen Oaks Golf Super Shop. Here's Frank LaRosa.
According to Bogey Jones in the Daily Divot, golf is the best sport ever, and they provide a few reasons why. Some include no two courses are the same, so you'll never get bored. Some are wicked long. Others have super thick rough. And others have fast greens. Enjoy the variety. You can make the game competitive with anyone. With other sports, bigger, stronger, younger opponents may have an edge. In golf, different tees and a formal handicap system makes it competitive, even if you're a 30 handicap. Golf can't be conquered. One day you can't miss a shot, the next day you want to throw all your clubs into the lake. The unpredictability is fascinating, and age is just a number. You can play when you're 70 years old. In fact, some don't take up the game until later in life, but don't wait that long. And you'll meet amazing people, celebrities, athletes, successful CEOs. You never know who you'll meet on a golf course. And oh yeah, it's a game. So have some fun. That's your Golf to Go. I'm Frank LaRosa.
KHD1 Sacramento, KYMX HD3 Sacramento. From the Power Business Technology Toshiba Studios.
Sacramento's official home of the 49ers.
San Francisco.
Sacktown Sports, 1140. Live and local, it's the Drive Guys. Watch the show on youtube.com/Sacktown Sports 1140.
Or listen on the Sacktown Sports app.
Got a lot of great ideas rolling in here. We just threw it out there. What's one piece of sports memorabilia? May not be attainable, but if you could have anything, what would you want? The football from the catch from the 209. This is one of the best we've had from the 916. How
What we
about
got?
Prince's Super Bowl halftime guitar?
That's dope.
That's awesome.
That's dope.
Now, why you?
Oh, Drake,
guys, because y'all know Prince is a phenomenal artist, but
Because he dissed y'all?
Yeah, because he dissed me, and so when I hear Prince's name, it's PTSD. I go back to that fateful night in
He
Minneapolis.
invited you to his house, didn't he? You were at his house.
But we waited around. Speaking of phones, he told you couldn't bring your phone either, Jay.
Well, that's for good reason. It
couldn't-
probably was a mean party going on.
You couldn't bring your phone. They ain't had no grub. All they had was water.
They had no food?
Nah, there was like they brought some barbecue in from somewhere and like.
Well, that's food. Wait a minute. Wait.
No, Jay.
Did they have food? Yes or no?
They had enough for about a 20-person cookout.
And how many people were there?
500 of us there.
Oh, okay, yeah. That's
And dude, we waited. We didn't even. He came out, said, "Hey, everybody, thank you for coming. Keep doing what you're doing. You know, supporting the black journalists." And then he left. Only a select few got to really meet, like the heads of NABJ.
Mm-hmm.
It's the big wigs. They got to talk to him in a private room and everything. Man, they didn't even have no real DJ or anything. It was whack. Come on,
Wasn't
man.
it a spur of the moment thing though?
Yeah, it was a Friday in Minneapolis. Friday or Saturday, we in Minneapolis looking to get turned up. Oh, Prince is having us. We thought something, a party, something like it was whack. And you had to take a bus out there. Like, there ain't no Uber or anything. Well, eventually I Ubered back. But, yeah, you were trapped out there. This was like 45 minutes outside Minneapolis.
Have you ever, I may have asked you this before, I apologize.
I'm pissed off still,
Have
man.
you ever heard Prince's Viking song?
No.
It's horrible.
Is it? I
He
think
made
you're
a song
talking about that.
Yeah, maybe you played once before. Prince made a song, because from Minneapolis,
Yeah.
Big Vikings fan. He made a song about the Vikings. It's not good in my opinion.
Dude.
But that said, Prince's guitar from the halftime Super Bowl show in the rain, absolutely, Jay.
I guess. I don't know, man. That's Prince. Nah, give me a Michael Jackson glove or something like that. Michael Jackson moonwalk.
Mm-hmm.
Is this it?
About like Ray Charles's piano or something.
Yeah,
This is it?
This is Prince's song for the Vikings.
Okay.
We are the ones who have now come again to walk upon water like
Scout fly, Eagles fly.
Yeah, this ain't very inspiring, if you. Nah, Prince nailed this one in, dude. He
kind of like that party.
This is what he was working on.
Right. Okay. All right.
Name of the purple and gold. Prince.
Dude, it sounds like something out here in church, not at a football game.
Like a hymn.
It's the choir.
Yeah.
Miss Betty in the choir back there. Oh, Prince, come on, man.
Yeah, not great.
Prince.
Yeah, you
one
would
of the
think it'd
best
be
movies,
upbeat.
Purple Rain. I love Purple Rain, the movie, man. That's a great movie.
Mm-hmm. Apollonia. More
I'm
stay
not
in the
going- I'm
time.
not going there, buddy. I'm not-
I just said she's
I'm
in the
not going-
movie.
So there's a lot of people in the movie. Why you got to start with Apollonia?
Start with the best. Man.
Somebody wants the towel from the Kings game where someone got sick on the court.
Oh, no way. How about the ball from Bibby's shot?
Yeah.
Shot heard round Sacramento.
Who's got that ball?
Right?
Takes Bibby if he's got that ball.
What's the most famous shot in NBA? Jordan?
Most famous
against,
shot?
Like basketball shot.
Yeah, have to be his shot.
How about Magic Skyhook to beat the Celtics?
Yeah, but that was only a game 5 or game 4,
And then they
I
were
think.
going back to LA after that. Yeah.
Mhm.
Jordan's shot to beat the Jazz, huh?
Right. I went to the Hall of Fame. My brother and I went to the Hall of Fame a year or two after that. And I was so disappointed because they have the hoop and they've redone it. So it's bigger now, the whole Hall of Fame. But they had it like shoved into a corner, and then right up against it, there was like some guy selling Blimpie sandwiches. It was like, it was so disappointed.
What, the Hall of Fame?
Yes.
Yeah, where
It
it's
was a little
kind of
done, and
it's not much to see around
and
there.
They had the name of a player wrong, and I called them on the radio to tell them they were wrong. And then, HP, Harold Presley, he heard it, and he's from back there, and he said, it's just like one guy, and he's got to do everything himself. And I felt so bad. I'm like, oh, I'm so sorry.
Oh,
but they've redone it since then.
Oh my God.
I haven't been to the Baseball Hall of Fame, and I haven't been to the Football Hall of Fame. Have you?
I have not been to football or baseball. I mean, how is baseball though? Cooperstown supposedly.
Yeah, I
is-
haven't been to
Oh,
that.
you haven't been?
I've only been to the basketball.
Only been to the
and that was the
basketball?
old building.
Yeah. How about this? Drapes, you have the best horrible Prince experience story that I've ever had of any experience of meeting anyone. Embrace the experience.
Thank you. Text of the day nominee
What
right
what
there.
year did Prince pass away? Anybody know offhand? Because it was the year before. So 2016. So it was 2015. I was in Minneapolis. So 10 years ago this August.
Yeah.
And then he passed away.
It's possible that a lot of people, maybe not most people, but a lot of people would say, I got to go to Prince's house once. But instead, you're like,
yeah. You got to understand, Whitey. Look at the stage of my life I was in. What was I, 40 years old back then? I was still drinking too. I'm looking to get turned up. All he had was water there. Come on, man. That was.
Have you ever heard of Tug McGraw?
Yeah.
I went to his house one. No, it was his house. That's the only famous person's house I've ever even been to.
Really?
Yes.
Who
I
else,
mean,
man?
really famous.
Really famous. Like
Yeah.
that. Yeah. Yeah. I don't even know. That might be the only famous person's house I've been to.
I bet Jay's like,
Jay's been there.
I can't even tell you all the famous
Look at it.
Yeah, it's all off-air stuff. I'll give you this experience real fast. Yeah. Playboy Mansion.
Oh,
I was there for a concert. I was managing an artists at the time.
Yeah.
And the artists got kicked out. And so I had to leave. They got kicked out. Yep.
Oh.
Smoking on the premises.
What?
Oh.
Yep.
At Playboy?
Yep, because they had animals and stuff there. And so got booted. Yep, got booted.
Real quick here, and we'll get back to what we've been doing, but I know we left off in Bobby Marks' teams to keep an eye on right in the middle here. So teams to keep an eye on. Yeah, NBA. We'll just go through it quickly. He has Boston, he has Brooklyn, he has Denver, he has the Golden State Warriors, and then the rest of the list is teams to keep an eye on: Houston Rockets, Los Angeles Lakers. I don't like that the Lakers and the Warriors are both on this list.
Right. Well, I mean, they're just doing that for clicks. They're just doing that for clicks, you know?
Yeah. Milwaukee Bucks, although today's news is that Giannis doesn't want out, so maybe there's something to see here. Orlando Magic, Phoenix Suns, and San Antonio Spurs. Maybe there's something there for the Kings with the Orlando Magic, according to report that Orlando may be willing to part with draft capital and Cole Anthony and or Jonathan Isaac for rotational upgrade help. Maybe there's something there for the Kings.
There could be something there. There could be something. And, you know, I'm reading a Bobby Marks piece on Orlando. They have the draft assets and contracts to be aggressive if additional help is needed from the outside. I wonder if they'd be in on Kevin Durant.
What do you think the Kings could even dangle that they might be interested in? Not saying the Kings would want to, but just let's say they were willing to offer anything. What would the Kings have that Orlando would go, oh, I'm intrigued?
Well, I think, you know, I've said, and the reports out there have been, you know, DeMar DeRozan. Like, the issue with Orlando, they needed another scorer. Their defense is good. We talked about that earlier. But Franz and Paolo, you know, like, if they had a DeMar DeRozan type, a bona fide wing scorer, I think then they could really do some damage. The problem is they're still a young team. Does DeMar fit their timeline? You know, that's what I'm worried about.
Yep. We're back with more on that. Also, tell you how Aaron Rodgers says the Steelers are good for his soul. It's just a feel-good story on Aaron Rodgers. When we come back, Sacktown Sports. Whitey here for Napoleon Grills, reminding you that when buying a new grill, every detail matters. While supplies last, you'll receive a $149 gift with purchase on every new Napoleon Prestige stainless steel grill. The kit even includes a pizza lover starter kit and much more. And now up to $79 off Napoleon Rogue models. Napoleon grills are built different, built better, built to last, with a lifetime warranty and premium steel that boasts amazing quality. Visit Green Acres Nursery today for your best selection of Napoleon grills and accessories.
Capital Casino, conveniently located on 411th North 16th Street in downtown Sacramento.
The Giant Summer Sale is here. Get giant savings on our Giant selection only at Folsom Lake Honda, your one-stop Honda shop.
Looking to own or lease? Save during the Giant Summer Sale and drive a brand new Accord or Civic. Visit us today at FolsomLakeHonda.com, your one-stop Honda shop.
As a family-owned and operated dealership since 2009, customer service is our number one priority. Our customers love doing business with us, and you will too.
Folsom Lake Honda.
Go to FolsomLakeHonda.com.
Your one-stop Honda shop.
If your passion is bass fishing, only one radio show has the action, information, and excitement of your favorite outdoor sport. Ultimate Bass, hosted by Tournament Bass Pro and California Outdoor Hall of Famer Kip Brown, takes you live to where the fish are biting every Saturday morning. Only Ultimate Bass feeds your passion with the latest news, products, tips, and advice from the pros. Ultimate Bass with Kip Brown, Saturday mornings at 5 a.m. on Sacktown Sports 1140, part of SEP's Saturday Morning Outdoors.
She fill my mind up with ideas.
your afternoon home for Kings talk and so much more. The Drive Guys on Sacktown Sports.
Interesting question here on X from Sacktown Sports 1140. You didn't post this, did you, Jay? It was fine if you did, but yeah, this is maybe Frankie, Brendan, maybe Chris. Vibes are low for the Sacramento Kings offseason, but are they the lowest in recent memory? How are you feeling about the Kings offseason? What do you think, Drapes? Vibes are, it's not just a matter of being low, it's just a matter of being unsure of what's going on.
I'm negative right now, Whitey, man. You always teeing me up with the vibes are low. Like, I'm trying to figure out what the question is saying. Because usually you say you react to something. You know what I mean?
How are you feeling about the Kings offseason? And the other question is, are they the lowest in recent memory of the vibes for the Kings?
No. I mean, here's the thing. It's June freaking 10th.
Mm-hmm.
Where were we at last June 10th? What were the vibes then?
I think the vibes were, Malik's probably not going to be
exactly
around. Yeah.
And what wound up happening?
He ended up staying.
And we got DeMar DeRozan.
Yeah.
So how I feel June 10th, Frankie Cardicelli, it don't matter. It's the vibes are low because ain't nothing going on. The vibes are low for a lot of teams right now. Vibes are only up really for two teams, OKC and Indiana.
In my opinion, that question, whoever wrote it, speaks to the need for the Kings this offseason to do something that's going to inspire the fan base again. You're right. It doesn't have to be right now. And there's this waiting period. We've got a lot of things got to fall into place with the draft. But I do think Kings fans are feeling a little let down. So I think it's imperative that the Kings figure out something to do, whether that's trading back into the first round, whether it's going out and getting a big name that's going to excite people. Maybe there's nothing that can be done. Maybe it's going to be during the next season or the deadline or the year after. But I do think Kings fans need a little pick-me-up right now.
So I view it differently. I view the vibes not as down or up. I view a lot of anxiety right now about the offseason vibes because we don't know what Scott Perry's plan is. We don't know what he has up his sleeves. You know, the day after the season, I could argue the vibes were low. But seeing Scott Perry talk, looking at some of the hires, you know, in the front office and the coaching staff, I wouldn't say that they're even the lowest they've been all offseason yet. Like, right after the season, that first week, it was low. But hearing Scott talk, knowing, you know, having our boy Raphael on earlier, talking about that the Kings, one of the more aggressive teams trying to move up, like, it's not high, but I think it's like we're so eager and so anxious to find out what happens.
I think what you do basketball-wise and what you do to help the fans feel better, they're not always the same thing. But I do think in terms of giving the fans something to start to get enthusiastic about, if you were to trade back into the first round, I think that would be a sign. Look, this is something we're building towards. Again, that's not a compelling reason to do it.
Right.
Because you got to make sure that it makes sense basketball-wise. But if you can find something that serves both, you know, hey, this is a good move for our team, and it gets fans excited about a new direction, that would help a lot. Because I think fans are kind of feeling like, I don't know where this is going, and I'm getting a little discouraged.
I think one of the conversations we had last year was how do you win the offseason with, you know, trying to get those good vibes. And I think the signing of DeMar DeRozan really changed things in this city.
Yes.
You know, because I do believe we were low at that point. You know, we had just drafted Devin Carter, but Devin Carter got the word he's going to miss half the season. And so then we signed DeMar DeRozan, and that changed everything. And so to your point, what is it that the Kings are going to do this offseason to get us inspired and excited about this upcoming season?
I know you've spoken to Scott Perry more than a lot of us have, and I know that when he speaks to the media, he's very good at making you feel comfortable, and he's got a big personality, and I know that he has yet to unleash that on the fan base at large,
right?
Because he's got a lot of work to do, but I do think that's going to go a long ways towards making people feel better about everything, assuming they can get something done here with the roster.
Yeah, and I think, you know, one thing I've gleaned from, my talkings with Scott Perry is he's not going to be a Godfather type front office executive, meaning he's sitting up in his office and never comes down. Like, we're going to see him out and about. We're going to have him on our show, several times throughout the season, guaranteed. And, I think he's not ducking the smoke. Whether we make a move or not, whether it works or not, from what I gather, we're not going to fire a coach and not hear from him for 2 months or whatever it is. Scott Perry's going to have to, he's going to hold a press conference. He's going to be held accountable for that.
We had somebody call Saturday talking to Emron and myself, and this person was saying, I put the over-under on how many times Scott Perry comes on this station at 2.5. And I said, I don't know anything, but I'll take the over.
Yeah, I'll take the over on that. That's easy. That's easy. I talked to him today, as a matter of fact. He's down to come on our show anytime. Anytime. Hey, Jay, you hear that? Anytime we need Scott Perry, we should be able to make it happen.
I'm afraid that if he hears your Prince story, he won't want to come on with you anymore.
No, but Scott Perry is like me. He's a Detroit guy. I'm a Philly guy. A lot of similarities, So
he's a Motown guy. He's not a He's not a Minnesota guy.
He's not a Minnesota guy. Minneapolis. He a Lions fan. He ain't no. Actually, he's a Steelers fan. Actually, big time Steelers fan. But yeah, him and I see eye to eye on a lot.
Well, he'll be happy about this. Aaron Rodgers,
Aaron,
continuing his playing career, signing with the Steelers, says the decision was, quote, best for my soul. It's Aaron Rodgers. What's the matter?
I'm negative right now, man. Aaron Rodgers.
I don't need it for my ego. I don't need it to keep playing. A lot of decisions that I've made over my career and life from strictly the ego, even if they turn out well, are always unfulfilling. But the decisions made from the soul are usually pretty fulfilling. Aaron Rodgers.
His
Write
guru
this down.
must have told him that. Yeah. Nah, it's good for him, man. Good. But why is he playing then? If he doesn't need, I guess it's good for his soul. Is that the only reason?
That's a good question.
I don't need all. So why the hell are you playing, man?
There were other conversations with other organizations for sure. But again, the rapport that fell in between me and Mike made it to where, as I was going through my personal stuff, there wasn't any other option for me. It was here or not play. Yeah. So why are you still here? Starts with Mike Tomlin. By the way, he's not getting much money. Aaron Rodgers, $13.6 million with a max if he hits all his incentives, $19.5 million. And according to reports, his agent wanted him to take more. He might have taken less than that, but his agent got him up to 13.6.
Wow.
So I must be nice, but he really wasn't overly concerned with the amount of money they were paying him.
I don't know. You spin it that way, or was the market so dry? That's the only team that really had interest. And this is like, hey, we're going to give you, and what he signed, a 1-year deal too, right?
I believe so.
Yeah,
Yes.
So I don't know, man.
I don't know about that, but I do know this from what's being reported. To your point, he was actually like their third choice.
Yeah.
They targeted Matt Stafford. Remember, there was a time there where Matthew Stafford wasn't sure he wanted to go back to the Rams, which he did. Steelers were observing that situation. And they wanted to keep Justin Fields, but it looks like they lowballed him.
Yeah.
So Aaron Rodgers, who, he's good for the soul and all that, but he was like their third choice.
Now, is Aaron Rodgers one of, and I think we've had this discussion, one of the biggest underachievers at the position, meaning his reputation versus actual wins. I know he's got MVPs and great numbers.
And he does have he did win a Super Bowl.
Well, that's one Super Bowl.
Some guys didn't win any.
Come on, man. Come on. My boy Jalen Hurts got a Super Bowl.
Yeah, you're right. Anybody can do that.
Right? Come on now. And so I just think, I remember a few years ago.
I mean, even Peyton Manning only had 2, and one of them just barely.
Only? He got 2, though. That's more than
the last one was he didn't have much to do with it.
10 years ago, we were talking about, not us, but in general, Aaron Rodgers being the best quarterback ever. There were some who would, I'm talking 10 years ago before Brady won 3 more, who would have said they take Aaron Rodgers over Tom Brady. For a guy that, even Elway got a couple. Eli Manning got more than Aaron Rodgers. Is he a top, where would you say, 5 QB of all time or not?
No, I wouldn't put him top 5.
But he was on his way, though.
To me, the issue is just that he talked so much and complained about
Right.
everybody else, you know?
Yeah.
And you're right. And there's no way, obviously, he's Tom Brady, but the way he seemed to consider himself
one of
greatest.
those. Yeah. One of those. Yeah.
Maybe that's not fair, but it did seem like he considered himself above everything around him.
Yeah.
Which is like, well, wait a minute, bro, you haven't done that much.
Right. That's the thing, you know, and you know, I said it before, tremendous career. Like we said, he won the MVPs and he throws a pretty ball, got a strong arm, you know, 10-time Pro Bowler. I'm looking at his numbers here, but postseason wise, how many Super Bowls has he played in? One, I believe.
Yeah.
Right. It's like, Patrick Mahomes comes in the league and, you know, wins 3 right off the bat, basically. I don't know.
Well, that's because Jay can speak to this. The 49ers beat him like a drum.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. He won one in 2010, Whitey, 15 years ago.
Yeah,
he won.
But this is so inspirational. He says, I just want to be a servant leader here and just pass on the knowledge that I've had for 20 years, the experience, and just try and fit in with the guys, get to know them, let them get to know me, and just enjoy the process. Good for him. You know?
Good for him. If I'm in that locker room, I'm like, this dude, come on, man. This guy, Aaron Rodgers. Like, he's going to have to make a speech to the team or something. Like, because I'm looking at him kind of side-eyed if I'm in that locker room. Like, we don't even need this guy. He, you know, put up okay numbers in New York, but they ain't win anything. Why we need this headache coming in here?
How old is he now?
What is he? Is he 40 now?
41?
Aaron Rodgers is 41. Yeah. He's 42 in December.
21st season.
Dude, Tom Brady was winning Super Bowls in his 21st season. Aaron Rodgers
the GOAT, man.
He probably won't even win the division. I mean, it's really
right.
Yeah, win the division.
That's a tough division. Yeah.
Oh, you got who's in that division? You got the Browns, Bengals, them, and Ravens, right?
Yeah, you still got Lamar out
Ravens.
Got your boy Joe Burrow,
Joey Bucket.
Shouts out to who's their backup over there? Yeah. It's interesting that you talk about that, Drapes, because the 2010 win, remember, they don't even get in if the Giants don't kick the ball to your boy, Deshaun Jackson.
Yeah.
Remember, Deshaun Jackson runs it back, allows the Packers to get in as a wild card, and they got hot and make a run. So you got to give him the love. But he's borderline. I know where you're going with it.
Right.
For everything he is, and as many people, you know, Stephen A. Smith talking about he's the greatest quarterback ever, just hasn't won anything. Like you said, he's got the strongest arm, the greatest mind,
right.
You know, so many things that people attribute to him, but he ain't won nothing.
It just seemed to get to a point where the aura around him, part of which he created, was just out of sync with what he actually accomplished.
Yeah. Agreed. That's a great way of putting it.
You know,
that's a great way.
and he's getting further
not parallel.
Right.
Yeah. Especially now. Like, you're not that guy anymore.
Sounds like he's humbled now. I'm pulling for him. I think it's
he got married too.
You lying?
Marriage helps a guy out, right? You know, you got married now, so
there you go.
You not stop pretending.
No more darkness retreats. Did we just witness the death of the in-game interview? I'm anxious to hear what you guys think of this.
I can't wait to talk about this.
Sacktown Sports next.
At SMUD, we power local business with incentives on clean energy equipment, tools to manage electricity usage and save money, tailored solutions from dedicated strategic account advisors, and 50% lower rates than neighboring utilities, all while doing more for the planet with clean energy solutions, savings, reliability, personalized service, clean energy, helping local businesses thrive. That's our clean power promise. Learn more at smud.org.
We get it. Tariffs are tough. Power tools are getting expensive. But at Fasteners Inc. Tool Outlet, we're solving that problem for 2 short days on June 20th and June 21st. We're putting all Milwaukee power tools on massive discounts. Tons of Milwaukee batteries and bare tools for less than $100. 25% off all regular price Milwaukee pack-out boxes and much, much more. So stop by Fasteners Inc. Tool Outlet in Sacramento on June 20th and 21st for some of the lowest prices on tools you'll ever see this year. To see all of what's on sale, visit fastenersinc.net. Fasteners Inc. Better tools, better prices.
Hot summer savings explode at Maida's Elk Grove Chevy. Save $12,000 off MSRP after rebates. Every new 2025 Silverado half-ton LT and RST in stock. Maida Chevy has similar savings on every new Silverado. One of the largest selections in the Sacramento area. $12,000 off new Silverado exclusively at the Maida Chevy Silverado Supercenter. Now that's big, huge. See them all at MaidaChevy.com. Together, let's drive.
West rating 2011 or newer. Not available with special financing, lease, and some other offers.
Jumping on the ground like an old used automobile. I saw it a lot of times on burning fields. And when the angels...
The Drive Guys powering your afternoons Monday through Friday on Sacktown Sports.
How do you feel about interviewing coaches during the game, during the NBA game?
It's okay. Like in between the quarters there? Yeah.
Nobody really loves it.
No, nobody loves it.
Yeah. A lot of the coaches, they do the best they can with it.
Yeah.
Sometimes they'll give you a good answer. How about in baseball now, which we've seen, I think they started this like All-Star game.
Yeah.
I've seen a preseason. Interviewing players, have them mic'd up and talking to them during the game. What do you think of that?
I don't like
play.
it. I don't like it. They're out in the field and out in left field or something, and they're chopping it up. I don't like it. I don't like it.
Jazz Chisholm is one of I know Jay's favorite players.
Yeah.
Sunday Night Baseball, top of the third inning. He's being interviewed live on Sunday Night Baseball while playing third base.
Third base?
Yeah.
Okay.
And Cedane Rafaela hit a grounder in his direction, and Jay has found the audio here. So here's what happened.
Your thoughts on what Hunter Dobbins said earlier about retiring rather than being in pinstripes?
I think we're looking at. 1 second. Oh. Damn it!
That was an E5.
Spin throw is right. Difficult play. Difficult.
Yeah, that's all right. We gonna get it.
Ouch.
He's ruled a hit.
A hit and an error.
On the throw.
Yeah. Good.
I'd be pissed.
I mean, for me, I love competitiveness, but to say that
he's answering the
being
question.
a rookie is kind of crazy to me. You know.
Yeah, that's weak.
Yeah.
To say that you're gonna rule out 1 out of 30 teams to be a professional athlete.
So it was a tough play. And he ranges to his left, and he didn't make the play, and he made a bad throw that I guess cost him a base. So it's a hit and an error. But during play,
yeah, I don't like that. And you guys are baseball players. So my initial thought, and you tell me, every second matters. Like if I'm doing an interview, my reaction time isn't going to be as fast, right? Like that's what I'm worried about. Let's say you out in center field, the ball is hit. You're doing this interview, even just that split second could mess it up. And I understand a little more access and things. I don't think the fans we're clamoring for that, to be honest with you. And if I'm the players, and who was that third base? Who was it again?
That's Jazz Chisholm.
Jazz Chisholm. If I'm him, I'm pissed off after that. Because you're taking away his concentration. You're a distraction while he's in the middle of a game. I would be pissed about Jazz.
What do you think, Jay? That's your guy, right?
Yeah, I love Jazz. I like the way the moxie he plays with. The play was tough from the jump.
He was ranging to his left.
Yeah,
right?
he
Chopper.
definitely was going to the 6 hole. So he's playing third base.
Yeah.
A high chopper going to the left of leading him towards the 6 hole, which leading towards center field, towards the second base.
Did he spin or did he just?
He spun.
Yeah.
So he grabbed it, full extension, 360 on the run. He's trying to throw to first base. It's just a difficult play. I mean, pros make those plays all the time. Pretty sure if you ask Jazz, he would say, I make that play 99% of the time. You did see him say, hold on, which was the pitch was coming and he was getting ready to concentrate and just so happened to go that way. I am with you, fellas, when it comes to, all-star games and stuff like that. Absolutely.
Right.
Real games,
Exhibition,
probably, you probably want to stay out of having a conversation. I do like in the dugout, in between innings, like nothing wrong with that. But as far as, It could. I tell you this, it's not the biggest ordeal because it's June. If this happens in September, guess what? They'll rethink the whole opportunity of how to go about it.
Mm-hmm. I know that there are proponents of this who feel obviously it's gone from, like we said, all-star game, spring training now, actually during a game. Some people feel that baseball needs more of this. Baseball's having a hard enough time as it is. But to me, it puts him in a bad spot.
Right. That's the
like
thing.
Jay said, maybe that's maybe doesn't make that play anyway. But you don't want people looking at that going, oh, you're mic'd up and you didn't make the play, whether they're right or they're wrong. And I think that should be the end of it. I don't know if it will be, but
yeah, I agree. Or talk to him when they're in the dugout or something like that, or something.
Or when the guy's on deck.
On deck,
Yeah.
even. Yeah. I'm with you.
You're on
that.
base, or you are in the outfield, probably not.
Mm-hmm.
Even the pitcher, you still got to concentrate a little more and all that. I'm with you. I think in between the innings, in the dugout, you want to have pitchers don't do nothing anyway. Why can't the pitchers just sit up there and talk all damn day? What about the bullpen coaching? Those guys out in the bullpen, again, pitchers don't do nothing, but every 15 days, you might as well just go ahead and, have one of them talk.
Did you know that, Drapes? I was mentioning that yesterday. I used to work with FP on this station, and I didn't know. I thought I knew a lot about baseball. I didn't know that hitters like FP, like Jay, they do not like pitchers. And I just figured, really? It's a particular guy that day. If he's trying to get you out, you don't like him. But hitters do not like pitchers. They'll tolerate them to the extent that they have to because they're on their same team, but they do not.
Why? What's that about, Jay?
As I said yesterday, they're aliens, man. They're not even baseball players. They're not. They're a part of.
Get you out and take away your livelihood.
Well, yeah, but not the guys on your squad. But yeah, I understand what you're saying. They just, Drapes? They operate different. They are
like punters and kickers.
Yes,
in football
yes,
like
exactly. That's why I said they're aliens. We used to call them aliens. They were extraterrestrials. They were guys that you would literally see once. I felt like you would see them once a day. And unless you were doing PFPs, which are, for people that don't know, defensive drills that you're utilizing pitchers.
Pitchers fielding practice.
Absolutely. Yeah. If you weren't doing that, if you weren't working on I'm trying not to dive too deep, but basically you aren't working defensively and utilizing the pitchers, right? Let's keep it general. Then you don't see them. All they're doing is running, man.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. All they do is run. They'll throw a bullpen, and then in 26 days they'll throw another bullpen, and then they'll pitch once in between. No, okay, I kid, but literally they're doing nothing, and they're fungo. They're exhibitioners.
I'm sure you know pitchers.
They're shaggers.
You get along well with.
Oh, of course,
pitchers,
yeah.
But
I got
individual,
all of
just in general,
pitchers
hitters do not like pitchers. By the way, here was something that was really good last night. They had the home plate umpire in the Dodger Padre game, and he had a camera mounted.
Yeah.
So you can see of
the
course,
pitch coming in?
the pitches, but also he called out, and I forget who the home plate ump was, called out Manny Machado on a strike 3 in like the 10th inning. Machado turned and was screaming at him.
And you can see that? That's pretty cool.
I'm going to take a look at that.
I'm going to have to see that. Yeah, that's pretty cool.
He was heated.
Cool. That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Did you hear about the umpire? I don't know if it was Major League or not. He did a called third strike, but then changed his call.
No.
Mm-mm.
Yeah. This just happened. I just saw this. I forget. I don't know if it was College World Series or what. He changed he rang it up and then umpire changes call during game. Umpire immediately corrects himself after getting the call
Did you
wrong.
say it was strike 3 and he corrected it?
Yeah, I'm watching it now. Yeah,
he punched him out.
Let's see. I'm pulling it up right now, big fella.
Damn.
Yep. Pulling it up right now. Yeah, 2-2 pitch, bottom of the 4th. No, this is Orioles here.
Oh, okay.
Who is this? Orioles, White Sox, is that?
Wow. I've never heard of that. I've seen umpires.
Okay. I see what it was here. All right. It was a foul tip, but he called it
Strike 3.
Yeah, he called it strike 3. He's like,
you out of there.
And then the batter was like, and then the ump said, "Oh, my bad."
Yeah, foul ball.
Yeah,
Put your hands
yeah,
up.
yeah.
Okay.
He said,
It happens.
yeah.
That's understandable.
Did you see that happen, though?
Yeah. Oh, yeah, for sure. I've seen that happen before.
So he called it, it was a foul tip, but he called it fair because it went straight down or whatever.
Oh.
But it should have been, let me see here. Oh, it hit the plate. This isn't, they're breaking it down. It's like a 2.5-minute video here, like a literally breakdown. You know, I'm trying to figure out exactly. Yeah, this is in the Orioles game.
This is interesting.
Oh.
Who's the umpire? Just give the name.
Come on,
an
Jay.
article?
I'm just doing, I can't listen to the audio here, big fella. They just got it on YouTube here.
Well,
Just on YouTube. Yeah. I just got it on YouTube.
Nico Horner of the Cubs got thrown out on Sunday. And after the game, he was asked, "What did you say?" He struck out, turned, faced the umpire. The umpire threw him out. Should he have been thrown out for this? What he said was he turned to the umpire and he said, "You're having a really bad day." And the umpire said,
He rang him out. He rang him for that.
The council came out. The manager comes out and says, "What happened?" And Nico Horner says, "I said he's having a bad day." And Craig Counsell went nuts. He said, "What? You can't throw him out for that."
Oh, my God.
He was having a bad day. Don't say nothing to him.
That's crazy. He just said you're having a bad day.
Yes. Quote. Yeah. You can even, there's audio, which we don't have here. I didn't get it for Jay, and you can't hear it that well anyway, but he turns around and goes, "You're having a bad day." Gone.
Yeah. I was looking at some video. The worst is when the umps have like a little axe to grind or something like that.
Yeah.
You know, and they calling stuff way outside strikes and everything.
That's out to Greg Maddox.
Right. It's ridiculous, man. Jason. But it's like, and I forget, I was watching the game, man. Somebody posted a video. They called a strike. Ball was way outside, way outside. Then other team came up to bat, right down the middle.
Mm-hmm.
Ball 3, ball 4, take for, it was like, umps. Have there ever been an umpire scandal? Betting wise or anything like that? Do you guys know?
Nothing that we know of. Yeah. But nothing.
Yeah.
Nothing that we know of.
Interesting.
I remember real quick, there was a gentleman used to listen to this station all the time. His name was, I think, Jim Nelson, and he played for the Pirates. And he was a big fan of our show on this station. He used to come in and tell a story sometimes. He said the first time he ever pitched in the major leagues, he gets called up. He's with the Pirates, gets called up to face the Giants. And he said the uniform, his pants had like a big rip in them. Shoes didn't fit. And he gets called up, joins the Pirates in Pittsburgh, and they're getting killed one day by the Giants. So he has to go into the game. Like he just got there and he's
yeah.
All right, you're pitching because they're getting shelled. And he said he got 2 strikes on Willie Mays and had a pitch called, was it a palm ball? And he says,
"Ooh, love the palm ball."
2 strikes on Willie Mays, first batter he faces. He says he threw it. I won't use the word C words used, but he says right down the center of the plate, right down Broadway.
You ain't getting that call on
Oh!
Right. You're getting out on Willie Mays.
You ain't getting that one.
Because that was Willie Mays.
Yeah, real quick, guys. I guess back in February, I didn't even hear about this. MLB fired an ump, Pat Hoberg, for sharing legal sports betting accounts with a friend who bet on baseball, and for intentionally deleting messages key to the investigation into his conduct. That was back in February.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I
All
didn't know
right.
that.
When we come back, Whitey's Wayback Machine.
I'm ready.
Quiz.
Don't got to face Ramsey. Ooh, he been kicking my butt, dude. My gosh.
Anybody guaranteeing a victory today?
Nah. I'm being humble.
All right.
I ain't doing it.
Yeah, we'll wrap it up with Whitey's Wayback Machine quiz next on Sacktown Sports.
Ooh, ma. What was that? That is business phone bliss with the Ooma Cloud phone system. It handles all our voice, video, and messaging needs.
You sound very
calm. I am. Ooma has everything I need to run my business more efficiently, like virtual receptionist, call routing, and video conferencing. And it starts at just $19.95 per month per user, plus taxes and fees.
Ooma.
Nice. Find your business calm at ooma.com/radio.
Right now, get a $15 gift card after rebate with the purchase of select AC Pro refrigerant products at O'Reilly Auto Parts.
O'Reilly Auto Walmart.
Go from daydreamer to industry leader with Amazon Business. From office supplies to IT essentials, Amazon Business provides tools that help you save costs and make insight-based decisions. Learn how to bring your visions to life at AmazonBusiness.com.
Progressive knows if you have to choose between everyday life and your RV, RV wins.
What, are you going to take the RV to the lake or clean out your closet?
RV wins!
Putting the dishes away or taking the RV camping?
RV wins!
Cleaning the fridge or taking a trip to the beach?
RV wins!
You might want to clean the fridge real quick because, mold.
We clean out the fridge, then take the RV out.
With Progressive, you can bundle your RV with your home or auto and save with a discount and spend more time enjoying those savings in your RV. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company, affiliates, and other insurers. Not available in all states and situations.
If there's one thing we know about dads, it's that they're not easy to shop for. Enter Kohl's. They've got everything from Nike golf gear to his favorite Levi's jeans. And you can save 20% on other finds like Flex Athleisure and Izod workwear. So if you're not sure what to get Dad for Father's Day, you know where to go. Shop Kohl's now. Select styles. Offer ends June 15th. Some exclusions apply. Coupons do not apply to Nike and Levi's. See store at Kohl's.com for details.
I'm Ken Korak with your Green and Gold Report, brought to you by Comcast Business, powering possibilities. Well, looking for something positive in the midst of a dismal stretch for the A's, center fielder Denzel Clarke, finishing his second weekend in the big leagues and playing in his hometown of Toronto, went 4 for 9 with a home run in the last 3 games of the series and also made a sensational Spider-Man leaping catch over the wall in center field, robbing Alejandro Kirk of a home run. Comcast Business helps turn today's small businesses into engines of modern business. It's how restaurants become reliably up and running neighborhood favorites. It's how retailers become seamlessly restocking, cyber-securing must-visit shops. And it's how healthcare offices become data-managing caregivers that we all depend on. With reliable connectivity, enhanced cybersecurity, advanced fiber solutions, and Wi-Fi backup, Comcast Business is powering the engine of modern business.
Live and local, 6 a.m. to 6 p.m., Monday through Friday. Sacktown Sports.
Al Draper has some good news for Sacramento soccer fans.
Yeah, Sacramento Bees Chris Biederman just tweeted out a few minutes ago. I'll pull it up right here. The Sacramento City Council just unanimously passed 2 resolutions allowing Republic FC to build their privately financed 12,000-seat soccer stadium in the downtown rail yards. The team hopes to begin construction this summer. And I heard Kevin Nagel on with Jason Ross and them in the morning, and he said they're hoping to have it complete by summer 2027. So less than 2 years, April 2027, excuse me. Yeah.
There you go, Jay.
Real quick, fellas, I've heard it, but I haven't done my research. Obviously, coming on vacation a little bit, I hadn't paid attention that much. What were they voting on? Do you guys happen to know, as far as beside the common sense of we'll allow you to utilize the land and we'll, help you with the planning and things like that? Does it say what they were really voting on? Because for the most part, it was privately funded. So of course we're going to give you the love.
Mm-hmm. I don't have that information.
Yeah, I don't know.
Okay.
Yeah.
I have to do that research. No problem. No
Yeah.
problem.
But that's
a huge step. Yeah, huge step. Privately financed too. All right.
Right. And it's where it's, beside we'll allow you to utilize the land. What else we voting on here? You probably ain't funding it.
Yeah.
That brings us to Whitey's Wayback
Yeah.
quiz for June the 10th. And it's brought to you by Lee's Air, Plumbing, and Heating. How's that system working? Lee's can help you out.
Need it right now, brother.
Yeah,
get the hook up there.
Need the Draper have check off.
It's Whitey's people,
the Whitey
man.
checking in.
Well,
Okay.
Whitey will help me out. He'll take care
Go
of me.
get that tune up.
Yeah, no doubt.
Let's see. Who's up first today? Do we know?
I don't know. It's been so long.
I believe we were tied. Didn't we tie the last time again? Or did I win?
I'll let Jay go first. I'm that gracious.
I could have swore I won on the vacation.
I don't know about that. I don't know about that one. You might have. You might be right.
Wednesday.
You might be right.
You've been playing well, Jay, but let me just tell you, Drapes is glad not to see Ramsey over there.
Ramsey is the luckiest dude. I thought Kyle Ledbetter was lucky. Ramsey be backing into questions, man. Oh, my God. So lucky.
All right, Jay, here's what we have for you today. 1944, 1962, 1975, 1990, 2010, and 2012. Everything happened on this date or is related to things that happened on this date.
1990.
1990. It is a closest to
Jafer.
Rocket Ismail.
Do you want to go first or you want
Let Drapes go first.
All right, Kyle Draper. This involves a year, but it's not a this day. What year? This day, 1990, on their way to the title, Detroit takes Game 3 of the NBA Finals, 121-106. Their first win in Portland. It's the first time they won in Portland since what year? They won this day, 1990. First time they'd won a game in Portland since what year?
Detroit. I'm gonna
They
go
would go on to win that championship, of course.
And what year was this? 1990.
1990.
Okay. First win in Portland.
Mm-hmm.
Detroit. 1981.
1981.
Oh, that was a good one because I was going that way around that area. They probably didn't beat nobody with Bill Walton and company. I'll go 82.
82. No one would remember this, but I thought it was interesting enough to mention. It was their first win in Portland since 1974.
Really?
Yes.
74.
Yes.
So 16. Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
They were getting smacked like that?
Yes, they were.
All right.
Kyle Draper
Yes.
has the point. You're up, Drapes. 1944, 1962, 1975, 2010, and 2012.
2010.
2010. It's multiple choice. This day, 2010. Who becomes the only shortstop to have played in 4 decades? Actually, he hit a home run.
2010?
Yeah. And he became the only shortstop to have played in 4 decades. Is it Ozzie Smith, Omar Vizquel, or Barry Larkin?
Omar's Vizquel.
That is correct.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right. I know that one.
I heard Ozzie.
That
I'm
was
like,
right.
nah, Ozzie was done.
Drapes off the 2-0 lead.
Yeah.
I should have picked that one.
Yeah. And I think he was like the 4th guy to hit home runs in 4 decades.
Wow.
Believe it or not.
Okay.
Jay, 1944, 1962, 1975, and 2012.
Let's go 1962.
1962. Drapes with a 2-0 lead.
Bobby Bonds.
Bobby Bonds. He going back. Okay.
It's the closest too, Jay.
Let Drapes go first.
And
I need
it's
it.
not an easy one.
Oh.
Drapes Estate 1962, before they had the Astrodome. How many people are treated for heat stroke during a Dodgers doubleheader sweep of the Colt 45s in Houston, including one of the umpires? How many people treated
Come on, man.
heat
How's
stroke?
somebody supposed to know this?
Well, somebody's going to get the point.
300.
300, Jay?
Dang, that's a good. That's actually a good.
It's like, what do you guess on that?
If it's enough for you to go back and be like, man, it was that many people.
Yeah.
I'll go. I won't even do the prices right. I'll go 275.
Is 78.
Oh, okay. All right.
That's a lot of people.
Yeah, that's still a lot. Yeah.
And Jay's on the board right there.
Dude, why you pick that one? All right. Now go for it. That's a tough one.
That was. 1944, 1976, 2012.
2012.
2012. All right. It's multiple choice for you.
Yeah, let's go.
This day, 2012, the Red Sox, with whom you're familiar, set a new pro sports record for consecutive sellouts with 745. They break the previous record that had been set by what team? The Boston Bruins, the Portland Trail Blazers, the Los Angeles Dodgers.
Oh, read it. Oh, so
Yeah,
it's
I got
across
you.
multiple sports. You're saying. Oh, okay.
It's a new pro sports record for consecutive sellouts.
Okay.
This day, 2012 was 745, breaking the previous record that had been set by the Boston Bruins, the Portland Trail Blazers, or the Los Angeles Dodgers. Drapes up 2-1 here.
Portland Trailblazers.
He's got another one.
Come on,
And he
Jay.
cackles with glee.
Your boy is dialed in today, kid.
Come on, man.
He's got the.
I'm feeling good right
I
now.
got you. I
What
got
is
you.
it? 3-1 lead.
3-1?
Still 2
Coming
points
back.
left on the
Oh yeah,
board.
baby.
Gotta get this
You know what
one,
I
though.
see? I see a Golden State Warrior team. What was that 2016?
2016. You ain't no LeBron, no big fella. but go ahead.
1944, 1975, Jay. Which one do you want?
What was the first year?
1944.
Ooh, let's go 1944. I ain't running. I'm J.R. Smith.
All right. This guy became a very popular broadcaster. for the Reds. He was an all-star at one point. Pitcher Joe Nuxall. That's
Yep,
Joe Nuxall.
Uh-huh.
Of the Reds. This date, 1944. Becomes the youngest player in Major League history at what age? When he pitches in a game.
Is closest to?
Yes.
Okay.
And I apologize because I didn't give you. You want him?
Oh,
to go
yeah.
first?
Yeah.
Oh, you read the question.
I know. I screwed up.
I'm going first.
Yeah, let Drapes go first.
Okay.
I think I know it, though.
I think I know it, too.
Yeah.
All right. Can I have the question?
Yes. Pitcher Joe Nuxall of the Reds becomes the youngest player in Major League history. At what age is state
14.
14?
Nope.
Jay?
I'm going to say 15 because I think it was 16. Or
15 is exactly.
Oh, okay, yeah.
I was so close.
Yeah.
So
It was
close.
15. I thought it was 16.
I got to get this one now.
Here we go, Drapes, for the win.
J.R. Smith, baby.
1975. What
Great
team in baseball celebrates Army Day?
Multiple choice here?
Yeah, it is
Okay.
multiple choice. With a 21-gun salute that results in part of the fence being knocked down and another part of the fence set on fire. Was it the Yankees, the Rangers, or the A's? This date, 1975. Army Day. 21-gun salute. Part of the fence was knocked down. Another part was set on fire.
75 we're talking?
Yes, sir.
Rangers.
Rangers is not correct. Jay, 50-50 ball to force overtime.
Yep.
Jay got
What
this.
team celebrates Army Day? 21-gun salute, resulting in part of the fence being knocked down, another part set on fire. The Yankees or the A's?
The A's.
It was the Yankees.
Oh!
Yeah, Jay.
It was the Yankees in Shea Stadium.
Hey.
Great match.
That's
Kyle
terrible.
Draper.
As my boy Tyrese Halliburton would say. I'm messing with you, Jay. Good stuff, man. That's a tough one. That was a tough one.
Very good match.
I've never heard of that.
Too. I'm like,
I've gotta go look that up.
A's one.
Yeah.
Okay.
Some
No,
odd,
I've never heard of that.
odd questions today. Well
Those
played.
were tough. Those
Yeah.
were tough.
Yeah.
Good job.
Uh-huh.
Good job.
Yeah, we've talked about a tournament. The more I think about it, I don't know if we could have one because people might get too emotionally involved in the tournament.
No, you got to have one.
Somebody loses and, why did they get that
Well,
question?
man, it's part of the game.
Well, the problem is who would be the number one seeds? Probably Ramsey and Kyle. That's the problem. We don't want no tournament bums. Don't let them
Have to
guys
put
be
them in
up there.
separate
Right?
brackets?
Yeah, seriously. Those guys, man. Dang.
How many times has Kyle played?
He's played a good 4 or 5 times.
I think he's beat me every time. Maybe
Really?
once. I got him once, maybe.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Come on.
Yeah.
Drapes, you got to represent, baby.
It's tough.
That would be a good match, Kyle. Against.
Is Ramsey? We should invite him in.
Yeah.
Do it.
Real quick, one more note on 49ers. 49ers today, mini camp. This may not be bad, but it's not good. Here's the players that either weren't present because of injury or set out because of injury today. Ricky Pearsall, Michael Williams, Brandon Ayuk, Juwan Jennings, Malik Mustafa, Alfred Collins, Yetur Gross-Matos, Fred Warner, Curtis Robinson, Jair Brown, Curtis Rourke, George Odom, Darrell Luter Jr., Marquise Siegel, and Andre Dillard. 15 players.
There's a joke in there somewhere, and I'm going to deliver it. Niners in midseason form, it sounds like. Midseason form already. Injury bug.
All right. We're back with you tomorrow. Thanks for joining us today. Stick around. Infinity Sports Radio is next on Sacktown Sports. Have a good evening.
Stay up to date on Sacramento sports. Join the Sacktown Sports 1140 newsletter.